Hey, it's. And take two. Good morning, everyone in Macon, Georgia, and everyone else around the World Wide Web. This is the Morning Roast for Flippin' Friday, April 19th, 2013. It's 8:09 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time here, and we have the whole full deck, all of our assorted nuts here in the Nut House. Anthony Harris, Irv, DB, and making it's karaoke, Ed Einbinder.
Yes, today is the anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yes.
Wow, how exciting.
Yeah, so what's going to happen new? You hear about the MIT Boston shooting this morning?
Yes.
Yes.
They were throwing bombs out the window.
They think it's
These
the
guys
two-
were
They
maniacs.
think it's the two guys that were at the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
believe one's dead already, right?
Yeah,
One's
one's
dead,
dead.
one's on the run.
One's
Yes.
on the run.
So now it
I
looks,
got a video from there.
so now it looks like they're not. It looks like they're domestic terrorists, right?
No, they look
Do they?
Arabic.
Really? No, the pictures I saw of them, they look white guys.
I mean, they look
No, they're
white.
Russian descent.
Russian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Whatever.
boy.
Russian.
Red.
Okay. Well, they
Russian.
Look, I didn't think they looked obviously
Which
Arab.
intermingles with Muslim and all that.
Oh,
They're all like the same mutts.
They're all coming from all over the sides of the world after us.
Oh, Chechen.
Chechen. There you
Chechen.
go. Thank you, Diaz.
No
for
wonder
that.
they're bombing because they got such a horrible name for their
No, it
country.
just shows there's more and more countries all the time that hate us.
Chechen.
Now they're coming at us from all angles.
The hell is Chechen?
Not just the.
You know what Chechen
weird
means in
beards.
Spanish? It means banging, screwing somebody.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
This is the
And it also
country of
means
screwing.
a woman's genital.
The country
Yeah,
of
Chechen.
screwing.
Well, they say chocha.
Look, real quick,
Anyway,
guys, before
sorry.
I forget. I have to bring this up because it's in my mind. I'll forget about it. I'm driving here and I'm listening to on the radio. I'm listening to the regular guys, right? The guys from Atlanta. Vinny Bucci was a guest on our show way back.
Mm-hmm.
He's an intern for him. Well, he's on there.
Ooh.
It's Vinny Bucci.
Oh, no.
Remember the bald kid that was here
Yeah.
doing comedy? I'm listening to the regular guys out of Atlanta, and Vinny's on there. Because he's the regular intern,
Yeah.
and they're about to do one of their segments. Well, he tells the guys, this is so funny, and it was still going when I got out of the car, but I couldn't sit there and listen to it more because I had to get in here. But he tells the guys, in about a week or two, I'm working on a new movie. And then so they ask him what the name of it is. He tells them it's based on a book, and they're like, "Well, is this?" And then one of the hosts says, one of the regular guys says, "Is this a real movie this time?" He says, "It's not one of those movies shot on a laptop or on a cell
my
phone, is
God.
it?" So I'm like, "Oh my God, they're about to talk about Derek Shapiro's movie on the regular guys." And
Yeah, well,
Vinny-
Derek Shapiro.
So Vinny replies, "No, it's a real movie. It's going to be in movie theaters, blah, 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 stuff like that." So I just thought it was funny because they started getting into Derek Shapiro's movie. I knew they weren't going to mention his name. There's no way they're going to give him any publicity.
No.
But they did say it's not like the last movie that was filmed on a laptop, is it, Vinny? So
Yeah, that was
and
ridiculous.
they were kind of making fun of it, talking about how the sound quality.
That was ridiculous. And that he calls it a movie, and all it is a bunch of clips
Yeah.
thrown together. I mean, it's stupid.
So if you don't enjoy what you see on our show right now, go switch over to the regular guys. And, I guess
No, the idiot guys, more like.
Vinny Bucci will be on there, who was on
Anyway.
here a while back.
Yeah.
So,
Get that off-
okay.
Get that off my chest.
A couple of things before we get into this new report with the police and all that. Want to give some good news, which is the Shamrock is going to open up as a
Again?
restaurant.
Same owner or different owner?
No, two owners. One of the guys I've hung out with 100 times, quite a bit of time in the past. And he walks around with a limp. You may have seen him. And
Roger Riddle?
no, there were more Riddles than meets the eye there. This is the white version of Roger Riddle.
Oh, okay.
And he's very short, he's like me. But he's got a lot of money. I mean, I knew he was loaded. And so he bought it. It's going to be called Twang. And
Must be a country place.
correct.
Sounds-
Southern food.
Sounds country.
It's going to have 2 bars, and it's going to have bands. So why not? I mean,
well, Shamrock used to have
a
bands.
new place for us to go.
Yeah, but it's still over there at Payne City.
It's still,
It's on the
well,
other side,
yeah, it's
yeah.
a building where the old Shamrock.
That's not really in the regular spot of downtown
Right.
Bars and
That's
clubs
correct.
and restaurants. But that's good. I always liked Shamrock. I used to go there a lot with Dargan.
It's
with
a
Dargan.
beautiful architecture.
Oh yeah, it's a great building.
That's why I like it.
Great building.
Well, you want to go right into the board shooting?
Sure, why not? Let's say, hey, who's all on?
Well, we have a video. Ed, where's the video?
I didn't hear about this. I didn't hear about this video until I just got here.
Here's the problem. The press
Is it-
don't ask the right questions. They piss me off.
Is it another video that really shows nothing?
It's Carswell talking about it. No, actually, it reveals a lot. But
Right.
they don't ask the right question.
what the hell does it
like,
show?
why is this guy still on with such a horrible record?
Right. Well, that's what we.
They
were
don't
saying
say
from
that.
the get-go.
They kind of glance over it, glance over his record.
Right.
But he's going back to the streets eventually.
Oh, he is.
Oh,
At first, they said
absolutely.
he was going to be in the office only.
Well, for now, tentatively.
Yes.
And then they asked him, will he be back on the street? He says
I'm working on
eventually.
it now.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Well, we'll keep talking.
Eventually, he'll be up and back on the streets. We're going to wait a few minutes. Ed, just give us the heads up. Don't just throw it on while we're
Well,
talking.
he's only got about 6 months to be back on the streets anyway.
Well,
Because I doubt Sheriff
I don't-
Davis keeps him on as a sheriff.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
That would be absolutely silly. And if he did,
I'm gonna
if he
go
does, I guess I'll just start going after Sheriff Davis after this.
well, believe it or not, I want to go to see
For about a
Davis.
year and a half.
Now that the mayor, Mr. Dishonorable Mayor,
Right.
wouldn't see me, I'm going to go to
Right.
Sheriff Davis
Yes, sir.
and tell him, you know, sir, with all due respect, I can't tell you how to do your job, but if you hire this guy, just as much as I berate the mayor, I'm coming after you, too.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
I have nothing to lose.
That's right.
Literally. I'm going to tell him that.
That's right.
And by the way, just to give you the heads up, Al Tillman says, you guys are the talk of the town. Everybody keeps bringing you guys up. And then he said, hey, Irv, I just want to tell you something.
And it's true.
He says, hey, Irv, I want to tell you something. Everything that you're putting up on Facebook, everybody's seeing. He said, well, I have almost 2,000 people, and more than 500 of them are from Macon.
When did you talk to Al? Last night on the phone?
Last night,
Okay.
yeah. And he also says, you know, a lot of people are liking what you guys are doing, and you just keep it up and keep the pressure on and blah, 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 blah. I also talked to the director of NAACP. She called me back, and I said to her, look, I'm the only guy that really has been abused, other than that woman that was abused. I like to be able to say something. Are we on?
You gotta read it. It says, they're talking about the findings of he shooting review. Of he shooting review. That's what it says on there.
What the hell?
Of the shooting review.
Right, but he...
Of he shooting review.
Captain Grammer!
They got
That's amazing.
GBI and now they have E-shooting.
No, it's a misspelling, Irv. They left the T off.
Stupid.
Wow.
It fits him to a
Go
T.
figure.
That's making for you.
Anyway, so, yeah, let's get to the video whenever Ed's ready.
Anyway, so I'm going to be talking.
Well, did you... I meant to call Miss Westbrook because I told Cheryl, Cheryl did not hear from them about anything.
Nope.
Did you bring that up to Miss Westbrook about tell her to get a hold of
Yes.
Cheryl? You did, because I was
Yes.
going to call her. And what
Yes.
did she say?
And she was they didn't never got in touch with her. I'm like, ma'am, not at all. And I just
They need to let Cheryl
finished
Davis-
going back and forth with Cheryl. Then they asked Carswell, have you been in touch with Cheryl, the sister of Jay? He said no. So it goes to show you, they don't
you
give
know,
a crap about the people in
And
the
let me tell you
city.
something. It's really I've never told you guys any of this because I just try to keep the work out of Heather's work out of it. But I'll say it at this point. You know, it's really been kind of weird for me the last few months to go to Heather's work. You know why?
Why?
Because Deputy Chief Carswell's brother works there, and so does his son.
Brother and son?
His
at
brother,
Molly's?
yes. His son works in the kitchen. His brother was hired after Heather. He's like the outside guy that opens the door and seats you.
No shit.
Both nice guys.
Yeah,
But
so's Coswell.
It's really weird because they know I'm out there going after them. But I'm showing up, hey, and it's fine because there's, I guess, an understanding that.
But
look,
it is.
It's an understanding, I guess, that hey, I'm not going to get on to you guys about what your brother/father's lack of what he's
But do
doing.
they know that you
Of
are?
course they know. I mean, hell, I've been in the paper about this shit for
Yeah.
5 months now. I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, we always say hi to each other. It's not like unfriendly.
Right.
But, it's just what it is. Because, I mean, it's not personal. I just think if you're not doing your job, you got to go. And they're not doing their job. And it
Well,
starts
we
all the way-
weren't really calling Coswell.
Well,
to
but I
comment.
have, remember, I wrote his name on one of the signs. My sign says Rick,
Yeah.
Burns, Carswell, Sutton, it's time
You're
to go.
right.
Because he is in the chain of command that should have been doing something about it. He's right. He's right under Carswell. Burns. But
Right.
But the thing about it is, it's
He's the one
obvious-
talking
It's
anyway.
obvious, and this is what I'm gonna bring up at the next city council meeting. This is my next topic, part of my next one. Is it's obvious that Carswell's being used as the go-to boy, as the scapegoat.
Yeah.
When I get these files on these precinct 3 officers, I'm noticing more and more that Carswell is signing off on this shit and not Burns.
And not only that,
And
another
it's
point.
telling me that they're getting Burns as such a coward. You are such a coward, Burns. You don't even have the frickin' backbone to put yourself out there in front of the people you serve and the media. That's how much of a coward this
He's
Burns
not going
guy
to do
is.
it. I'll tell you why.
And he's sending Carswell to do all the dirty work and
Yeah.
saying, I'm on medical leave. Well, how long are you going to be on medical leave? Your ass has been on medical leave for like a month and a half now. And the thing about it is, he's just basically a complete coward.
I heard he had a hysterectomy.
Well, he needs
Well,
to,
here's
get a backbone surgery.
Here's the fact.
That's what he needs.
Burns is not going to be on the
That's
sheriff's
right.
police force.
But I'm still going after his
But
ass
Carswell
until he's
is.
gone.
Carswell is.
Well, we're going to see
And that's what I
happens.
see. I see Carswell remaining on the sheriff's department and becoming assistant chief. That's what I
Which
see.
translates to another go-to boy, the guy,
Right.
the guy to make
Which
do
is
everything.
why I'm going to go see Davis and say, anybody in the top line of
Right.
that police department, if you hire them, sir, you're going to have a lot of problems. And right now, people are trusting you. The neighborhood says
Right.
that you're not going to put up with this nonsense. Everybody has nothing but good hope for you. Don't take that and tarnish it. You're going to tarnish it with these stains that are all over the police department. You have to get rid of half of these guys.
Well, it's so obvious,
They work for us. so-
right? And it's so obvious that they're putting Carswell out there because he's a black guy.
Yeah.
It is. It's very obvious. They know that the black community is pissed off about this as a whole. The tension's high in that community, right?
They're playing mind
It was
games.
a bunch of black people on Montpelier that slashed the cop car tires, right?
Yeah.
They know these black people are mad, right?
Mind games.
Okay, so what do? They go, well, we better send a black cop over there because he's one of them to deliver all the news. Maybe that'll soften the delivery because
Yeah,
it's
right.
not a redneck white guy named Burns. It's a black guy.
Right.
And that's what pisses me off about it. And poor Carswell, because when you see his footage, you can tell the guy is just, he knows he's being used.
Yeah.
You can tell he knows he's being
No
used.
question about it.
He
No
is
question
being
about it.
used to go up there and constantly talk to
But
everybody.
he's saying everything we don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's saying that it was justified and this and that.
Because that's what he's being told to say.
Right.
By the mayor and Burns.
But he looks pretty confident in believing that, in fact, this is the result. We did 2 of them, blah, 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 and he's just yapping on. He doesn't look like he's cowering or he's embarrassed or anything.
Right.
So he,
Right.
whatever
No, but he
role.
stumbles a
I mean,
lot
it's
when he-
obvious.
when he
It's
talks, he
obvious
stumbles
what
a
you're
lot.
saying. It's obvious.
Right.
They're playing mind games.
Right.
They're playing mind games.
Right.
But Carswell himself, I believe, believes that that officer was justified.
Right.
I believe that, you know, and so Coswell is part of the problem too.
Well, the thing about
and
it
he's
is,
the one that, like you said, signed off on a lot of these guys.
the thing about it is, the people that think it's justified are justifying it on one thing: that Sammy supposedly attacked him first.
Right.
Okay? I wasn't there. I never at one time said that the scratch was either self-inflicted or not. I said there's a possibility that Sutton did it himself because I don't trust Sutton. His record shows he's a bully and a liar. We know that. So you don't trust the guy already. I wasn't there, though. I'm willing to accept that. But what we do know for fact is that Sutton has a horrible record before December 21st. We know that Sutton is probably the worst cop on Precinct 3 as far as disciplinary records go. Because so far what I've noticed, no one's been disciplined as much of the files I've gotten from Precinct 3 yet, except Sutton. So we know he's already one of the big bad apples, if not the biggest bad apple in Precinct 3. Okay?
Right.
2, we know that it's obvious he didn't follow procedure, which we're going to get to the results of the board. And they admit to that, right?
Yeah.
They admit to it, and that's what pisses me off. They're not going to get rid of Sutton. They justify what he did, but we gave him a written reprimand because he did not call into dispatch when he showed up at Kroger. You're again showing that Sutton is a fuck-up, right? He's again fucked up. What's this?
Yeah, big
What's
time.
This is complaint 29 or 30 now, and this is going to be what? Reprimand number 9 or 10, right? There you go. You added another one to it right there, yet you're keeping the guy on the force. And that's what makes them look so stupid to me is that they even announced that they gave the guy a written reprimand. They're acknowledging he's a fuck-up.
Yeah, well,
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
the problem that I have right now is the press. The press
They don't
does
know what to
not know how to ask questions.
They don't.
They don't.
They're pussyfooting around.
And
Yeah.
then everybody stays quiet. It's like it's over. I'm like, no, you bastards. Where's the question on
It's a press
Sutton's record?
Right.
Why isn't he fired just based on that horrible record that he
Where's
had?
the question of why did Sutton call into the Morning Roast show for almost 2 hours and talk about it when he was told not to? Where's that question, right? We know why they don't ask that question. The media
course
doesn't
so.
want to give this show any kind of credence
Yeah.
or credibility.
Credibility, yeah.
But you know that's a perfect question. Why the hell did he call into this show when he was told not to before the GBI results?
Yep.
And no one's asking that.
Well, we told the
And
city council.
and why do they say that they had that bogus thing about the warrant that he received a warrant when he received a call,
Yeah.
not a warrant.
right. I mean, it all adds
Then they
up.
found out that it wasn't a
Right.
warrant at all. Then they said, well, he must have mistaken him for Chucky Davis.
Yeah, and then they make up another
a
character.
doll from Chucky.
I mean,
okay, the
it's
doll
real-
Chucky. You're gonna mistake a 6-foot black with the doll Chucky.
Well, it's really ridiculous. It's really. It doesn't baffle me because I know this city's full of idiots that run it. I know that. But it's ridiculous because it's all laid out, the incompetence. Like you just said, Derek, there's a string of it. No warrant at first. Said there was a warrant. Making up a warrant for another guy named Chucky Davis. His record speaks for itself. Oh my God, wait a minute. We released a picture of a scratch, but we didn't release this picture of a scratch until after the GBI results. You know, we gave us a good 5, 6, 7 weeks to possibly doctor a picture if we had to do that. I mean, it's just, there's too much stuff going on that's obviously flaky, and it's beyond me why no one understands that around here, or everybody's too scared to say something.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, I would think that just dozens of people from this city would just march on City Hall and stand out there and go, okay, this is ridiculous. Regardless if Sutton was attacked, all this stuff around it is ridiculous. All this fluff around this attack is ridiculous. And everybody's just acting like, well, let's get by it. Let's get past it. It's time to move on. No, we're not moving on. I noticed that on Making.com last night, I think. Heather was going through the different articles on it. And I wasn't in the room with her, but she was calling me in there. Like, hey, look at this. And like people, you know, different people replying to this article. And a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them are, you know, let's move on. This is getting old, blah, blah, blah.
No,
But we're not
we're
moving
not moving on.
Because you know what? They want you to move on. This is the city sweeping it under the rug.
Yeah,
This is what
once
they used
again.
to always do. They always did this, and people let it move on until guess who came around?
They are playing
Until
mind
this came
games.
around right here.
Yeah,
This is the
they're
group
playing
that's
mind
not
games.
letting it move under the rug.
I got the video ready.
All right,
Okay.
video head, thank you.
Roll that beautiful bean
Deserves
footage.
video. He asked me to download.
Here we
And
go.
we'll get to you, chatters. Thanks for your patience.
That the actions of the police officer, once he reasonably felt that he was in imminent danger of harm and felt in fear for his life, his conduct did not violate any policy. He will continue to be an employee of the Macon Police Department, and he will be reassigned, but he will not return to the patrol division in the immediate future. This board was the first one under the new system, and I add again that the decision of the board was unanimous. I'll take your questions now.
The guy in the background
We
looks
say
really
immediate future
interesting.
is
That's
that leave
Barbie.
open the possibility that he would be
Eternal
back on
Affairs.
the streets
That's
at a
Barbie.
later time.
Could return at
Jimmy
some time
Barbie.
later.
Yeah,
What's
Bobby.
the position you
He's
are
at Eternal
going to be
Affairs.
assigning?
Where's Ken?
He'll be working in the property division. I won't specify it further than that.
Have you been able to talk with Officer Sutton, and if so, what's his reaction to the news?
I haven't spoken to him since the board, no ma'am.
Has Sutton ever, just aside from this, has he ever personally expressed any remorse or, just sorry that it happened in general?
He expressed it to me one time on the sidewalk in a brief conversation, just talking to me.
What did he say?
So I'm sorry this happened, but I did what I felt like I had to do.
Have you been able to reach out to the Davis family, and if so, what have they said? What's their reaction?
I would not like to speak on that at this time.
So now how does, I understand from this particular incident, all that was, came up was a written reprimand for the minor policy that he did violate by not calling 911, but that will still be added to the rest of his record. Is that going to change anything in terms of, when you add that onto the record, what his status will be when it gets added on with his other violations?
No, sir, it won't change anything at this time.
Seeing that it was that minor policy violation, could you explain what he didn't do, what the internal review found?
Right. When an officer acknowledges that he's clear on the call, once he arrives at the destination, he has to inform the 911 operator, I am 1023, which means I have arrived at the scene, and that's what he failed to do.
And doing that minor policy violation, any repercussions or anything that's going to happen to him?
He may receive a letter of reprimand.
And what does that mean?
That's just a minor infraction, something not all that serious. It can be addressed through just that letter.
There's a lot of people in the community that are distrustful of the police. What would you tell them now that this decision has come out? The ones who may not even have trust in this now, what would you tell them?
Well, the case has been investigated by the District Attorney's Office, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. We have held this board, which included 2 members from other agencies that are nationally accredited, as well as 2 civilians from this community. All officers that it has been handled by the due process, and a decision has been made. But the police department is still reaching out to try to work with community members, but we abide by the law and our policies. And that's what we expect each officer to do, and that's what we're going to continue to try to do.
Is the case now closed? Are there any other investigations or any other reviews that are going to be done?
As far as the Macon Police Department is concerned, it is closed at this time.
And the report, it mentioned this will be used as an example for training in terms of use of deadly force. Before this happened, how recently had Officer Sutton been trained on this? And I guess, was he up to date on that training before the incident happened?
It's my understanding that his training records were up to date. Yes, sir. He had received this unit use of force training, deadly force training. Yes, sir.
How will this be used in future trainings?
Well, there are some things outside of policies and procedures that we look at. We look at ways of approaching people and, and interpersonal communication skills, distancing and things of that nature. And we will go back and every situation is different, and we can map it out all day long, and then another situation will occur. So we just kind of use it as guidelines of things you may remember in a future encounter that you may want to avoid that particular thing, something like that. We're not saying that he did anything wrong, but there are different ways to do it.
Overall, looking at the overall picture, is there anything you think could have been done differently, and if so, what?
Well, that's what we don't like to get into is Monday morning quarterbacking, because hindsight is 20/20. And try to say what somebody else could or should have done would be fair to Officer Sutton.
You mentioned that you're reaching out to the community. trying to repair the relationships that are out there. What are you doing to reach out to the community?
We have some forum classes scheduled coming up starting on April 30th, and then I think the second will be May 2nd. And then we have 2 more the following week. They'll be facilitated by the Department of Justice. A teacher will be coming down, and the class will have police officers. We'll have all of our officers will have to attend. It's mandatory, but we also will have space for citizens to come and be a part of that forum. And it's a class, but it's going to be in a forum setting so that we'll try to hear some of the problems that the citizens have, and they'll hear some of the issues that the police have, and we'll try to use those classes to first network, get to know each other better, understand procedures and things like that, and concerns better, and try to move forward.
8 minutes.
When these tapes came out, I guess a lot of questions that people had was, why did it take so long to get aid? What is the police's policy in terms of, once he had him, the situation contained after he shot him? Is it the police's policy that, the officer has to render aid before the ambulance gets there, or what's the policy on that?
Well, that's the first thing we're trained. The first officer at the scene, that's his first duty, is to render aid.
He didn't.
He didn't. He's a liar.
The guy's just incriminating himself.
But he was, no, that's when the officer's not the one. That's the officer thing.
I'm calling Carswell today. I'm gonna meet
what he's trying to do.
I got his cell phone number.
I don't know how long that time period that was.
Yeah.
The family has made some comments blaming the police chief and the mayor for.
Let's have a press conference today.
What would you
You want
say
to?
about?
Yeah.
Well,
City
I
Hall.
think that
City
the
Hall.
police chief has
Go to
led
City
this
Hall.
department in a great manner, and these things are going to occur, from time to time. Anyway, we try to do everything we can to prevent a tragedy from occurring. But if you stay in this business, you deal with people, and things are going to happen, and we just have to take the facts as they are and try to learn from them and make sure that the truth comes out, which we think we've done in this case, and work from there to try to mend relationships.
What do you say to people in the community that, in addition to this, and also looking at his prior record, say that he should lose his job?
Yes.
The officer, in each case, any entry in his record was dealt with according to due process, and I just have to say that.
That's a bullshit answer. It was dealt
The
with.
Davis family was looking into civil rights violations. I mean, obviously, he's been cleared of any criminal charges, but do you feel like Officer Sutton may have, in the process of this incident, may have violated Mr. Davis' civil rights?
I wasn't aware of any for the time I looked at this case.
Any more questions? What do you say to people who think this was a white versus black issue here in the community? They think it's race related. What do you say to that?
I don't think it was race related. I think it was an incident and these things happen from time to time. Things get out of control sometimes when you're dealing with calls and cases, and I don't think color had anything to do with it. It's just a matter of law.
Get vocal by this moderator.
What the hell was all that? Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a good little added thing. Okay, that's just so much full of shit there. That's ridiculous. Hey, let's call on break. Hey, you want to hold a press conference today?
Yeah.
We'll try to?
Yeah.
Who cares if it rains? We'll hold it inside somewhere.
That's
Let's call right now or on break.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call Carswell. He gave me his personal cell number about 2 months ago. And I'm going to call him there. And we'll see if he comes. And if he doesn't, then we're going to call him out on the press conference that he didn't show up.
Yeah, let's see.
And we're going to ask our own questions.
Yeah.
Since we were not invited to this conference.
That's correct. I'm going to call up.
She wanted to know where was Burns.
Oh, but baby, Heather, you Tower of London, you know where Burns is. He's hiding. He's a coward.
Well, yeah.
He's a coward. He's a freaking coward.
He's still on
The guy's
sick
not
leave.
showing up for anything. He doesn't want to talk to anybody because everybody knows he's a little short bastard coward.
Well.
No offense, Irvin. But anyway, yeah, let's do it. Let's just, what the hell, man? And you know what I thought about doing too last night?
Tell me.
And I'm not very good at doing this. I'll get Ed to do it or Derek or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Let's set up a Facebook page called Remove Rickard. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
let's do that.
Let's set up a Facebook page called
I'll set it up.
Remove
You
Rickard.
want to set it up?
Let's set it up,
You go
and let's
see
just
it.
start building before this election. Let's just bombard this freaking site all over the place, and let's just go after them in every angle we can. We'll go after them online.
Let's grandfather that. We'll do Remove Rickard, Remove Sutton, Remove Burns.
No, you know what we should call the Burns one?
What?
Because it's kind of a pun. Fire Burns. Get it? Fire Burns.
Oh, I love that.
Fire Burns. All right?
That's better than
because
Harry
our fire's going to
Underwood.
burn that mother chucker.
That's better than Harry Underwood.
Yes, yeah. So
Wow.
let's do one. Fire Burns. Remove Rickard.
Yeah.
And then we'll come up with a clever one for the other people. But let's do it. I mean, I decided when this stuff happens, my passion just boils more, and I just have all more great ideas to just shove this down their throat even more. And so we'll start with Facebook pages, which gets it out there. We'll do interviews. We'll do our show continuously like we do. And we'll make calls. And I told him, I said it online yesterday, Rickard, I'm going to find out your appearances you make everywhere that are open to the public. You can hide behind your little private appearances where you know I can't get to because they're private. But every time you go out in public, Rickard, and it's an open talk to where anybody's welcome to come and free speech is allowed, I'm going to show up at your gigs, Rickard, and I'm going to call you out until your ass is out of office. And election's soon, and you know what? I think you're not getting reelected. You better hope you don't get reelected because you're going to see me for a long time after that if you get reelected.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's do it.
Let's have it.
We got it all. You hear that, Ed? We're going to start some Facebook pages. We're going to build a lot of Facebook pages up. We're going to completely give them their own medicine.
Yep.
They want to ignore us. They want to ignore.
We're going to push out a site like this page.
That's
and
right.
This and
That's right. Because you know what? They want to ignore the real issues of a horrible cop with a horrible record. I mean, Carswell himself made 3 comments that were absolutely ridiculous
and lies.
And I can't. You're right. I can't believe the press didn't act. No, the press didn't call him on it. He sits there. One thing he says is that the reprimands we give are sufficient enough.
We need to start a new club
What's that?
called the Enema Club.
Hair Club for Men.
No, Enema Club. That's
Okay.
what this city needs is an
That's
enema.
right. Well, we could do that, but I like remove Rickard's site. Let's start that
Fleet
first.
of enemas.
Let's do that. Can you do that for us, Ed? Set up a Facebook page. Remove Rickard.
Tell me what you want.
Just start it during the show if you want, and then we'll let everybody know on this show.
I have a picture of Rickard.
And we'll
if
get
you
it
need.
out.
I can't do it during the show.
No, you know what I mean. I mean, just whenever after the show. I mean, I don't know this shit about Facebook other than how to type stuff and push post. I mean, that's all I do. I mean, I don't.
Well, I know how to set it up. I can set it
Yeah,
up.
just make sure the spelling is correct, guys.
Yeah.
Let's not have like this really bad spelling on there because then.
Well, I've been using spell check anyway.
So anyway, it is 8:40. What are the chatter saying?
A lot.
All of it.
And it seems to be on our side more.
Okay.
Of course, Vorp is.
Well, we don't care. We decided we're not mentioning you.
So you're telling
V.
me you always get ID 10T errors?
What the hell is that?
ID 10T, idiot.
Oh, okay. I guess. V, we're not going to address anything you say. We're going to allow you to.
Barb,
no, listen.
Enough is enough, Barb.
No, he can say it. We're going to let you say it on the chat.
No,
That's your freedom of speech, Vorp. Go off all you want. We're just not going to reply to you the rest of the show because we've already told you yesterday. You told us your point. We appreciate your opinion. Appreciate ours. We're not changing. Just hang out, write what you want, and we'll ignore you. Anyway,
have a good time spewing your hate.
We got somebody named Boston Marathon Bomb on. We got John Boy, welcome.
Yes.
We got Graybeard Shaman, Ellen Macon, hello. 3 Bears, Gamer Girls, our sweethearts of the show. Where's the Bean? Speaking of that, and where's Eve? What's up, Jews?
Yes.
And everything's A-okay.
R3 Link, yes. I think, Gamer Girl, I guess she meant to mute John Boy and not ban him, but,
Yeah, he was out of line, though, man.
Well, of course, I know he was out of line because
Who was out of line?
He was just talking about the stuff.
A guy
Boston.
named John Boy.
He'll come back with another name.
But
He'll come
Well,
back.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Somebody
what my
else.
whole point is always not to boot them. Leave them on, just ignore them. They'll get tired of typing and no one's talking to them, and then they'll leave. I mean, that's the thing about it. Just ignore them. They're still getting their freedom of saying what they want out there.
Just basically just spewing some racial epithets about the crime and stuff. Of course, no one's not saying anything about the looting that's been going on since during the Boston.
I didn't hear about that.
In
Well,
Boston?
yeah.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
God.
there were some stories about people looting, and since the majority of the people of the ones looting would surprise you. They're not black; they're actually white because Boston is predominantly white.
And believe it or not, white people loot also.
Yes.
They commit crimes.
They're just not being put on camera, unfortunately.
Well,
like
some
in New
are.
Orleans.
If they have footage of it, some are. Who's this right here you're clicking on? Here's the video footage.
Uploaded
of
by
some-
Sean Hampton
Here's
from
some video
YouTube.
footage of some people looting, and of course Ed doesn't have it, so we won't sit here and talk about it while you guys out there in chat world and viewing land don't know what we're talking about. But yeah, look it up yourself, or if you can send it to Ed, Ed will put it on.
Okay, I'll send it to Ed.
Yeah, but anyway, we're on the hot topic. Let's stick with it. But that video of Carswell, I mean, that proves the incompetence of that department. You know, I mean, his answers are ridiculous. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them are ridiculous. I mean, he. In other words, he was saying it doesn't matter how many times a cop gets in trouble. Whatever reprimand we give him is sufficient. He can build up 80, 90, 100 of them, and we're still going to leave him on the force. That's basically what he said, which is just so ridiculous to me. I mean, it's like
he lied.
And I think about it, you know, we'll handle it. We'll handle what we got to handle. So we'll do that. Irvin, after the show today, we jump in the car. Derek, if you want to go, we'll all go. We're going to make our move.
Yep, let's do it.
We got a phone here. We're going to set up a. We're going to call all the news outlets. Whoever shows up. Whoever doesn't.
Tell them who you are and who I am. And
yeah, well, you know, and if they don't give us the publicity and they don't give us the actual outlet to give our side, and after all, we deserve it. We've been on it from the beginning.
Yeah.
We do deserve it. They're not obviously calling us when they hold these press conferences, so you know, we will have our own. But yeah, I'll have the questions, and of course, I'll bring these questions and stuff up at the next city council meeting. That's the great thing about these city council meetings. I love, you know, Irvin and Derek, is that you can go. They have to let you speak for 5 minutes. You can say what you want, and you can continue to keep the fire burning.
yeah, let's just keep
You
going.
can keep talking about it, and you can keep it alive.
Fire burns.
And every damn little thing that you add to it, like a Facebook page and this show and city council meetings, it just adds and it collects more support, and it builds from there, and it's a true underground movement.
Now,
True
once again,
grassroots movement.
if we have to go and recap the story for anybody here, the problem with this whole, you know, you wonder why are we making such a big deal when he's already been proven not guilty and this and that. The problem with that is that it's a lie.
And it's a government doing it.
And it's the government
what
doing
are
it.
what are you surprised about? The government lies a lot, and they always do what's wrong.
And the thing is that we are calling him out to cop it for it.
That's
and
right.
you may think we're crazy and all that.
Well, I don't care about that.
But here's the thing.
I mean,
The very people that are saying, well, he was cleared, so why? You're the very ones that get it up the rear end without any Vaseline.
That's right.
You're a bunch of idiots.
That's right.
You take whatever the word is,
accept the government.
and you're
That's
morons.
right.
This
That's
is why
right.
I'm saying,
That's
look,
right.
it's you people that we're trying to protect. It's you stupid asses who don't say anything that we're trying to
That's right.
protect. And
Your freedoms we're fighting for.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
it is.
And truth
That
is
is
what
true.
we're fighting
That
for.
is.
So, guys like Vorpalbite, that's the last time I bring up his name. Guys like Vorpalbite only
John
want in
Boy.
anonymity to make their point, but they haven't really come to an understanding that if anything, you're a sucker because you take the word
Well, the thing about it,
of a government agency
Right.
when you're so anti-government as
Right,
it is.
right,
You
right.
can't stand the Muslims. You can't stand
well,
the
Irvin,
system.
you're talking to ignore him. I mean,
He's an
he
asshole.
knows. We're not going to address him the rest of the show. And
Anyway,
anyway,
I've already told you, moron.
but he can talk all he wants on the chat. But yeah, you're right, Irvin. You said it correctly. It's those people that want to take it up the rear without any lube. That's
Yeah.
basically it. That's basically it. They want to just sit back. And the thing about it, this is a group of people right here that have a lot of time on our hands. A lot of time on our hands. You know, this city's used to having a lot of people that don't have that time on their hands.
Right.
A media that can't just concentrate on one story, that has to do all these other stories. This is a media outlet here that can talk about it all day long, you know, if we want to. And the thing about it, through this program and through Vaughn Live and Blog, when we were on Blog TV, we get it out to such a bigger audience that would have never heard of this case. I mean, think about it. We have people from all over on here that know about a case that probably, had we not done this show, would have not known about this case. And the thing about it, that's another good thing. So, you know, we're going to keep doing it, but we're going to set up everybody out there, Gamer Girl, all of you that are friends with us personally on respective Facebook pages. once we get these Remove Rickert Facebook page up and these other pages up, by the end of the day, we'll start sending them out and get you guys, hopefully you'll want to friend them or like them or whatever the hell you call that. And we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. Of course,
Keep the fires
we'll
burning.
let the wheels turn. And,
Yes.
and I said it from a way back. I'm not stopping in this matter until some people are gone. And it's either you're gone by being voted out, Rickert, you're gone by being fired, Burns, or you leave, you're gone by being let go, or you resign. Sutton, Burns, Carswell, Rickert, any of you, I'm not stopping. Because the point of the matter is, I know we are right when it comes to the incompetence of the police force as a whole, not all of them, and as the incompetence of the mayor, Burns, Carswell, and Sutton. It's plain to see, and it's right there in front of us.
Well, I do have an update on the
Back to the Boston.
Yes. Got a thank you Gamer Girl for the brand new story. I already had it, but I guess
See,
this
these
is
guys are not Middle Eastern, Irvin.
We love you, gamer girl.
From Watertown, Massachusetts. All residents of Boston were ordered to stay in their homes this morning as a search
That's crazy.
for the surviving suspect in the marathon bombings continued after a long night of violence that left another suspect dead. Boston Police Commissioner Ed Davis made the announcement that the entire city should stay indoors at a news conference where Governor Deval Patrick said the remaining suspect, described as a dangerous terrorist, was still on the loose. The developments came after the suspects killed an MIT police officer overnight, injured a transit officer in a firefight, and threw explosive devices at police during their getaway attempt, authorities said, as the manhunt intensified. The suspects were identified to the Associated Press as coming from the Russian region near Chechnya, which has been plagued by an Islamic insurgency stemming from separatist wars. A law enforcement intelligence bulletin obtained by the AP identified the surviving bomb suspect as Dzhokhar A. Sarnev, a 19-year-old who has been living in Cambridge, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston, and said he may be armed and dangerous. Two law enforcement officials told the AP that Sarnev and the other suspect, who was not immediately identified, has been living legally in the U.S. for at least 1 year. In Boston, authorities suspended all mass transit and urged people to stay indoors as they search for the remaining suspect, a man seen wearing a white baseball cap on surveillance footage from Monday's deadly bombing at the marathon finish line. Also, the universities within Boston, including MIT and Harvard universities, along other surrounding college campuses, were also closed today, due for the suspect is still at large.
So let me ask you guys.
It was Shapiro.
It's
By the way,
probably-
they are the same group that attacked the Russian theater that killed a lot of kids, according to Winchester. So this is in their first run here.
Thank you, Winchester.
Okay,
So did I miss it? How was the first suspect killed? Did he kill himself or was it shootout?
I guess it was during the shootout.
Yeah,
Okay.
during,
It was during
and they
the
were
shootout.
throwing bombs out of the car. I mean, that's crazy.
But how did they were being chased in a car?
Yeah.
Then how'd the other one get away?
Well,
Pretty
I
incredible
don't.
that he got
It
away.
doesn't really say whether both of them were in the car. All it says is they were running after him, and he was throwing bombs out of the car.
Well, it says that the images released by the FBI depict two young men each wearing
There you
baseball
go.
cap, walking one behind the other near the finish line. Richard de la Sierra, the FBI agent in charge in Boston, said the suspect in the white hat was seen setting down a bag at the site of the second of the
There
two
it is.
deadly explosions. Yes. Authorities say surveillance tape recorded late Thursday showed the suspect, known for the white hat, during a robbery of a convenience store in Cambridge near the campus of MIT, where a university police officer was killed. While responding to a report of a disturbance, said State Police Colonel Timothy Albin, the officer died of multiple gunshot wounds.
Oh, so another officer died.
Yes, a campus police
shootout.
officer from MIT.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah, I heard about that. I thought a Boston police officer died. Oh, campus cop. Okay, yeah, I knew about that one.
Could I just say this in answer to your question? Saibuki says they said he had a bomb strapped to him. He ran at the police, and the other drove off. That's it.
Okay.
That would make sense.
I guarantee a lot of the conspiracy theorists are just going crazy with this one.
Oh yeah.
I bet they're going, oh, this is all bull. This didn't happen. These are made up people. This was government did this, and they just want to go ahead and get rid of the ones they say did it, so there's no paper trail. I mean, I can only imagine the conspiracies are going now.
Diaz Farragut says, why couldn't it have been something?
What is that? Is that breaking news you're at? Cops surround building. SWAT team has surrounded a home in Watertown. Guns drawn.
Is that new?
Probably. If
Yeah.
you
Yes.
put it up, yeah.
All right.
Get the fucking bastard.
Thanks,
His
Iraq.
mother's a fucking whore.
Conspiracy
posted.
theories. MDJ Mean
Here he
says
goes.
conspiracy theories. Ian, what do you think?
I don't think this one's a conspiracy.
Okay.
Just like I don't think 9/11 is. I do think the assassination of JFK is a conspiracy.
Oh, yeah.
I do
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's more
That's
than that.
pretty blatant.
BCI. But I don't think 9/11 is. I think 9/11 was just perpetrated by radical terrorists from another country. And I think this is the same thing. And I'm going to tell you why I think it. Well, I mean, I still thought it could have been domestic. Let me correct myself. But I didn't think it was government controlled or government directed. You know, I don't think it was a big plan by our government. Because, I mean, there's just too many things. You know, I said on the show that morning, the morning of the 15th before it happened, you know, I mentioned that we're coming around the time, April 19th, April 20th, where all this stuff happens a lot of times. And I don't think those other incidences were government controlled either. I think Columbine was two kids that were pissed off, tired of being bullied, mean or whatever, pissed off for whatever reason, decided to shoot up a school. I think Waco, Texas was a radical, crazy, religious freak that thought he was Jesus doing what he did. And then on top of that, Janet Reno and her cronies and dickheads handled it completely wrong. And then I think Timothy McVeigh was just a guy who, as I told you guys on the show before, I was in basic training the same time Timothy McVeigh was. He was not in my platoon, but he was there the same cycle as me, but he was in the platoon on the other side of the base of the camp.
No kidding.
He went through the same time I did, which was in 1988.
You're talking about David?
McVeigh. McVeigh was in the same cycle as me at Fort Benning, Georgia, basic training in 1988, but not my platoon. So I think basically, you know, I think they speak for themselves. I don't think it was. I mean, you can say McVeigh in a way is a government conspiracy because what? He was trained to kill by who? The government. The U.S. military. He was trained. He got disenfranchised with them. Which I can't blame him for getting disenfranchised with the government. I blame him for doing what the hell he did. Him and what was his buddy Terry, the guy that did it with him, Terry, the one that's in jail now. His partner, McVeigh and Terry, whatever.
Something.
But anyway, Chatter will tell us. But I don't think any of them are government directed per se. I mean, I just don't. I think the time of it happening speaks for itself. And I understand the argument on the other side saying, well, that's why they did it at this time, because they want to connect it with the April 19th and 20th stuff and all that. I understand that argument. You ask me my instinctive position on it, and I think it's a couple of terrorists, which they're either from Chechnya or wherever the hell they're from. I mean, let's face it, folks. This country's not liked by a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. We're not liked by a lot of countries. People hate us. People want to destroy us. People want to cause problems. People want to put fear in us. It's just a fact. And it's going to always be like that.
Yeah.
So,
as a survivor of 9/11, this is DJ, seeing things firsthand, I cannot say that it was a conspiracy. How the government acted after does bring a lot of question. The Boston incident sparked the media to make folks relive that crazy day. See, I think that's the problem. The media takes it over, and it makes it into all this drama.
Right.
Now, we still need the media. We're going to have the media today. The media has its purpose.
Right.
But I still believe that the media either overdoes it or underdoes it. Like in our case, they underdo it.
Right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They undersplash it. And everywhere else, it seems like a story like mine. You know, you would think if I was in the New York media and I can get their attention because they got some crap going on, I bet you I'd be like the biggest thing since sliced bread over there. But here is like, they know me too well. They know me personally, and they don't respect me. And I told them that yesterday. I'm hoping that that statement that I put out is going to be put somewhere, because so far I haven't seen it.
Which statement?
I called up MAZ yesterday, and I spoke to whoever's in charge there, and I said, here's my statement. She read it back to me. I said, yes, I want that put out either on the 6 o'clock or whatever, where the reporter just says, you know, makes a statement.
Let me explain to you why, Irvin. I think what it is, and this is why I think I now have to call in and hold a press conference.
Yes, I
because
agree.
They don't see me as much. I don't constantly. I think with you is you're constantly hitting them up. You're constantly calling. And I understand your position because you're running for office.
I only
understand
called them
that.
twice.
No, but in general, when they look, I think what it is, when they look back at the record, they're like, okay, we've given Irvin time on the air. This back here, and I think
no
what they
doubt.
do, I think when you keep calling and calling for these statements to be released at press conferences, they're like, okay, this guy's doing it too much.
Right.
And they think, okay, he's just wanting
Well,
attention.
because they're not used to it.
Well, but also they just don't. I think they think it's a little
I'll
too
take
much.
that.
So what I have to do is, since I never call them,
Correct.
I need to call
Which
them.
is why
And then
I
need
said to
go,
you
look,
early on,
I'm
you're going to
holding
need
a
to call.
conference and shit. They know
Yeah.
my face. I'm the guy that
They're
with
gonna
cherry
want
blossom.
the press
And then
conference.
what I'll do is when I call it, we'll all be
We'll
there.
all be there.
Yes.
And that way it'll still handle itself.
Sounds
But
great.
when you keep calling it, they probably think, okay, here's Irvin again.
Yeah.
Here's Irvin
Yeah.
again.
I guess they may. Think
Oh, I
we
got
may
to
be
tell you
trying
a
to
story
hold
really
back.
quick.
Right.
Not getting off the subject, but I was telling Derek the story about David Letterman. Remember that?
Right.
I had an issue when I was working at David Letterman at 40 Rock, whatever that place is, and I was working downstairs, and David Letterman had something called a stupid pet trick. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I thought he
and
still did it.
well, there was this dog that took a shit everywhere, all over in the lobby, and caused mayhem in the lobby. So I'm trying to get a hold of Letterman and let him know that the dog on the stupid pet trick just took a dump in the lobby. And I called like 5 times, and they kept taking my call. So that night when I'm watching the show, the phone rings, and Letterman goes, he says, "What you answer that? It's probably Irving. I swear to God."
Oh, wow.
And
did you tape that show?
no,
You don't have it on
I couldn't even
recording?
find it. No,
Oh.
but it was funny that happened, and I was literally embarrassed. Like, here I am.
I wouldn't be embarrassed. You got your name mentioned on the David Letterman show.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
But it's
pretty
funny.
cool.
I could be annoying. You're right.
Yeah, well, I didn't say you're annoying. It's just, I mean, you're like we always say you're like
I'm
a little,
determined.
You're like a little chihuahua. You're like
Yeah.
a little snap. You're always at someone's feet, your legs. That's right. You're always at their ankles, and that's probably what it is. Is they probably
This is how they do it.
yeah. I mean, that's why when you last held one out here, you said only one showed up.
Yeah.
Fox. The others
And
didn't
the
show
one
up.
that didn't show.
Well, you said
showed up.
41 and 13 didn't show up.
Right, but they showed up the last time.
Right. And see, I think they probably think, okay, we can't just keep putting Irvin Martinez on here. So
Yeah.
what we need to do is we need to have different, like maybe one time we need to have Derek call it in.
Okay.
You know, I mean, we got to have different people, and you know, we'll get some good points across. You know, so we'll see what happens. If they don't give us the time today because it's the last minute, we'll schedule it for Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Because
fine.
they might say
And plus-
we can't send a camera today because
Yeah.
it's too late.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to tell you that it's going on 9:02 a.m. and plus there's going to be some showers today in the afternoon.
Right.
So it's 67 degrees right now in Macon, Georgia, with a high of 74 and a low of 45, and plus with a big chance of showers.
Well, you know, but I was
That
fine
means
with
that.
having the conference inside. I mean, it can rain all at once. I don't have a problem with doing it
Right, and
inside.
not only that,
The
there's
rain
a
doesn't
porch
stop
area.
it. Right.
It's a porch
But-
area, so.
But they might tell us, well, we can't get cameras there.
balcony.
We have other stories we're on right now. We'll set it up. If we can't do it today, we'll set it up for Monday.
By the way, just to encourage you, Al Tillman mentioned that he liked what you brought up, the subject. He thought it was pretty brilliant.
Which subject?
The one that you brought up about the Macon Film Festival and films.
Mm-hmm.
And what he was throwing a hint at me basically is there's more than just the Sutton incident. The problem is that each and every one of us carry our own bags. My bag and my choice and my belief is to go after the story until we get truth to come out.
Well, I got a new story we're going to bring into the show next week.
Good.
I'll tell you guys off camera. It has to do with the making. I had a call from a guy 2 days ago. He called me. He was directed, and that shows you again the impact of this show. They know what we're doing. They're hearing about our fights. A guy from the fire department, fired. He was on the phone with me for like 20 minutes yesterday, and I got to ask you something, Ed, about this. And he basically wants us to bring up his story, which he says is unfair and unjust. And so I said, come on the show. And he says, well, I've kind of got stage fright now. Is there a way you guys can interview me and we tape it off the show and then play the tape on the show?
What was the story about?
It's long. I wrote all the notes down. Yeah, I can't do it now, but he's going to come on the show. He just doesn't want to do it live.
Okay.
He wants to sit down with us, be taped with the interview, and then wants us to show the video clip on a show the next day. But it has to do with the Macon Fire Department, so I said sure. I took a lot of notes from him. We are also going to have him on, of course, not live, and then bring you the tape footage.
Did you get a gist of what he was going to talk
about? Oh, yeah.
about?
I sat there like on the phone for like 20 minutes with him last night. He
explained everything. He
called out of nowhere 2 days ago. Heather said, look, she was kind of happy. She played this voicemail for me on the cell phone. She said, look, I mean, guys must really like what you're doing, or they really put some faith in you. He said,
how'd you get your number?
He's probably on Facebook.
No, he told me. I asked someone when I talked to him last night. He said, I said, I have a mutual friend on the fire department, and I brought up Jason Moss. I said, well, did you get my number from Jason Moss, who's a fireman, who's also Gamer Girl, been an extra in Walking Dead? And he goes, no. He goes, I got it from Lieutenant Brad Beasley in the fire department. So, we'll get more into it next week. He's out of town till Tuesday.
Exciting.
He says, I asked him, did you want to come on the show tomorrow, meaning today? He's like, no, I'm going to Florida till Tuesday. And then he told me the whole butterflies, stage fright kind of thing. And he's like, I don't know if I want to be live where you guys are going it, but can we tape it? Interview me, tape it, and then show it on the show the next day. And I said, sure, I'll be check with Ed, and if we can have it done, then we'll do it. We'll sit here. We'll have him come here Tuesday or Wednesday after the show.
Have him sit down as though we're on the show.
Tell his story, and then Wednesday or Thursday morning show, we'll play the interview.
Okay. Fantastic.
See, we're going over lots of things. We're not just going after the police.
That feels
you got
good.
the break ready? Just want to ask him if he had the break ready.
We'll get more into all that. I'm not going to bring it up now.
Well, and here's the thing. The good news is that, despite what everybody thinks, we are having an impact.
Oh, we know that.
We are having
an
impact.
We knew that from the get-go.
And
we knew that from the first couple of days.
It's only going to get better.
We did this because when we started promoting this and putting these little flyers up around town, these little cheap homemade flyers I made. Remember the first flyers I was putting up for this show, those little handwritten ones?
Oh, ridiculous.
Some of those are still hanging up, though.
I know.
I walk downtown and they're like all crusty and yellow, but they're still sitting there. The address is wrong on them because it says Blog TV on it still.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I have the other ones, but they don't have.
If you go to the old one, it'll show where we're at now.
That's cool.
Okay, that's cool.
That's cool.
Well, it's 9:06 a.m. right now, Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon, Georgia. It's 67 degrees outside. It's sunny, at least for now. There's going to be some afternoon showers with a high of 74, a low of 45. Tune in again. We'll be right back. After this break, we have some good news, some news about the 2013 Rock Roll inductees that were inducted yesterday. And also update on the Amber Alert we talked about about Brian Hunter. We'll be right back.
We'll be back. Please stick with us.
We have on the phone Andrew Kitzenberg, who is an eyewitness. He gave his account to the New York Times, and we have him on the line now. Andrew, in terms of all the accounts that we've heard this evening, yours is by far the most exhaustive. It sounds like you had essentially a front row seat to everything that was happening. Describe what you saw this evening.
Yeah, so I was just sitting in the living room, and I started hearing gunfire outside our apartment, and I went to the window, and I saw two behind a black Mercedes SUV with a second sedan right next to it. And it was two shooters firing down our street, which is Laurel Street. And they were behind the black SUV, shooting about 70 to 80 yards down the street westward towards what looked to be about at least six Watertown Police Department vehicles. They engaged in gunfire for a few minutes, and while they were in gunfire, they were also utilizing bombs, which sounded to be like and looked like grenades, while continuing the gunfight. And they also had what looked to be a pressure cooker bomb, and I had about a clear line of view on that from about 30 to 40 feet away from my bedroom window. And
Andrew, if you could just, can you expand upon that? I mean, you say it looked like a pressure cooker bomb. We've all seen the photos now of the bombs that they believe were used in the Boston Marathon bombing. Is that how you know what a pressure cooker bomb looks like, and is it consistent with what you've seen?
Yes, it is. I've seen the photos from the marathon, and so I am familiar with what it looks like, and I had a very clear view of the shooters, and that is what it looked like to me.
Of course, we want to be very careful here to not be overzealous in connecting the dots, because again, this could be a completely unrelated incident of urban crime. But I do want to ask you, officials released these photos yesterday of the two men that they believe were involved in the bombing. You say that there were two men shooting at officers and that you had a clear line of sight. Did it seem like they looked like they could be the same person? I mean, visually, were there any similarities?
Yeah, visually, I really couldn't see. I couldn't see their faces. They didn't have any distinct clothing on, so I really couldn't make out their descriptions in any way. In terms of build, I had a clear view of their build and average size, average height.
And Andrew, you posted some photos on Twitter of what you were seeing. We're going to be putting those up. Can you just describe what you took photos of? We see a bullet hole. Is this in your home?
Yes, that is in our home. We occupy the second and the third floor of a multifamily home, and there were bullet holes There were bullet holes on the west wall that went through the wall and through my roommate's chair.
And
there's one bullet hole.
Were police returning fire? Was this a firefight, or did it seem that they were taking cover while they were being shot at?
No, it was a firefight. There was a long exchange of gunfire, and it looked to me like the shooters were utilizing handguns in the gunshots.
And you say they had these bombs with them. You described them as grenades, and that there was at least one that you say looked like it could have been a pressure cooker bomb. How were they carrying all of this and shooting at the same time? Did they have bags with them? I mean, what were the logistics like?
So their sedan was, I guess, easterly on Laurel Street. And then their SUV was to the west, and they were separated by about 10 feet. They were in between the two cars, taking cover behind the Mercedes, shooting westward. And they had backpacks. Right now, there are still, actually, as we speak, there is the bomb squad robot that's going into their green vehicle. And then they still have what looks like 2 or 3 backpacks that were right next to the SUV that are still laying in the street, and they have been untouched.
And you're saying that there's a bomb robot on the scene. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and what's happening with that? I assume that they're trying to ascertain if there are more explosives in that car.
Yes, that would be my assumption, and they are going in through the back passenger door right now, and the robot is examining the back seat.
And you, in your account to the New York Times, you say that one of the men was tackled by officers, but that the other one sped away. So can you tell me, how did this end? How did it resolve itself?
Yeah, so when they utilized their larger bomb, that actually created, they threw it towards the officers. It didn't get too close to them, but it really worked more as a decoy, and it basically covered the entire street with smoke. And then at that point, one of the shooters ran towards towards the officers while he was firing, while the other one, after a few seconds, got back into the SUV. And at that time, the one who was running towards the officer was taken down, and that was still about 60 to 70 yards from my vision. So I really couldn't see whether he was tackled or shot. I didn't have a clear view on that. But as he went down, the second shooter got into the SUV, turned it around, and went full speed into the police officers' cars, and basically went right through the middle, in between 2 or 3 cops, officers' cars, taking out doors, and ultimately broke through.
To pick up some thermal blankets, is that?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. There they are looting.
At 5 minutes after 5 this
Stealing
afternoon.
jackets.
This incident here in Boston, and now authorities confirming that these in fact were
I see white people, I see black people, I see Chinese people,
Yes.
I see Martians.
A 19-year-old, man.
Unbelievable.
They're starting young, aren't they?
Want to get into bombings? Well, doesn't surprise me.
Oh, the volume's real low on this one.
Yes.
We'll go back to this.
Young
So let's
terrorists.
just completely talk over it so no one knows what the hell it says.
Well, go ahead, give them a preface. This is them looting right at the bombing.
This is the guys, right? Now, is this the one
Yeah,
that...
this is the guy that's still
Stealing
alive.
the jackets.
This is the one that's...
looting.
Oh, wait, we're not seeing the looting picture. I'm seeing... Oh, I'm getting 2 different screens. Oh, okay, now here's the looting. Oh, okay, here's the looting. Okay, I'm over there on Irvin, I'm seeing one of the suspects.
They should be stealing.
Oh, I'm on a live feed.
I want to point out one other piece of information.
Gamer Girl send us, put this on.
Yeah.
It's a live feed.
The human race as a whole are scumbags. Unfortunately.
Yes.
It shows everybody stealing. I mean,
Yes,
that's
and
just-
we are back.
That's what it is. Okay?
It's night. Yes,
It's bad apples.
Definitely bad apples. Bunch of rotten ones.
We are back.
9:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon, Georgia. Watching the second hour of the morning roast with Ant, Irv, DB, and Ed right there.
That's
There
it,
you go.
baby.
67 degrees outside of Macon, Georgia.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, it's
Flippin'
Friday.
Friday.
Flippin' moist Friday. It's going to be some afternoon showers with a high of 74 and a low of 45
It
degrees.
feels good, though. It feels nice and cool right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hey, look at this jacket. I stole it when the bombs went off.
Let's go to
Across
Chatters.
America. It's got my
Gamer
signature
Girl.
on it, too.
Ed, Gamer Girl says, what are they looting? Are they stealing
They're
windbreakers?
stealing jackets.
Yeah, stealing
That's
jackets.
all they were taking were
Yeah,
jackets?
the jackets are hanging on the racks. They're the only thing out in
Okay.
the open.
They were able
They
to
weren't
get...
like breaking into stores or nothing. They were just anything that was hanging there.
I just don't get. I don't get looting to begin with in the sense of all that and stealing like that. But I really don't get when you choose stuff like jackets. I mean, it's just me because I just don't really
It
wear
is-
many jackets. You know,
Yeah, you
I
wear a
just don't
doggone
give a-
t-shirt and
I don't
freaking
give a
snow
crap.
and
She says, is that how white people loot? They steal windbreaker?
Yeah,
Well, you know,
that's right.
up north in New Jersey, they steal cars. Down here, they steal tractors.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
But the tractor thieves down here wear a uniform.
Yeah.
They're cops.
Maroon.
Hello, Zero Cool 18. Welcome.
Well, remember, they are in Boston. It is cold up there.
Yeah.
it's not.
You know, their
Not right
perspective.
now.
Well, it's cooler.
Let me finish. Their perspective is different. For them, having a jacket is like having a pot of gold. Cause
They're not leprechauns.
They just want.
I mean, it's bad, but they ain't no...
I think what it was is I don't think a lot of those people really needed the jackets. I think they just saw an opportunity. They saw
They
blown
get
out,
free stuff.
They saw blown out windows with shit hanging in front of them that they could just go like this and pull. And they said, "Why not?" That's
Why
what
not?
they
And
did.
they're like
They would've done it-
$150
they-
jackets.
They would have done it if it was a sex store with dildos in the window.
No.
They would have just started grabbing dildos like Howie Hansel,
Listen.
or they just, you know, they would have just started grabbing whatever the hell it was.
And you
if
really-
it was a pet store, they would have grabbed dog collars and leashes just
shoe
to,
bones
even
and
though they
stuff.
don't need it.
But
because
you realize
people
I
just
could
are
see
idiots.
why
You
they
realize
would
there
steal
weren't no
jackets.
electronic stores over there because
That's
you
true.
know there'll be a
I
whole bunch.
get-
You see a whole bunch of teenage kids
Look,
with some
I
plasma
could see-
TVs under
That's
their
right.
arms.
I could see why they would steal jackets, and they don't have to wear them right away.
Or they give him his
Since
gifts.
everything up there is 80
Or they give him
degrees.
his gifts.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming up
Or
on
they
the
give him his
holidays.
gift.
They're like, "Hey, I got you a jacket."
Yeah.
Yeah. I stole it.
Hey, it's a thought that counts.
Yeah, why does the jacket?
It's the thought
why
that
the jacket
counts.
got pieces of shrapnel and smell like smoke?
I'm
and
at
stuff?
my age where I just want to get rid of shit. I don't want more shit. I don't want to add more crap to my house.
Yeah.
I want to get rid of crap. I can't take it with me when I die. I don't want to keep it. So I would never be looting for anything because I'm just trying to get rid of crap.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Especially these ugly
That's
ass
true.
windbreakers.
That and toys.
It's just more crap. That's why I keep bringing all this crap to Irving, and my kids don't even want it. It's like there's
That's Gamer Girl right here. Gamer Girl.
Dancing.
Yeah, Gamer Girl.
Guys, you want to do entertainment real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got the new Stop and Stamp. Stop and Stamp.
I hope they're being entertained.
Well, it's just I'm gonna do the local movie thing. Since Georgia is the third most popular place to film
behind
movies,
New York and California.
This is something out of Atlanta called Stomp and Stamp. I've read this for years. It's a very cool freebie that comes out. It's kind of like, or I'll say we're like them since they were around before us. But this is a no holds barred. Call it like they see it. They call people out. They make fun of people. They make fun of musicians, actors. They just have freedom of speech. It's just true freedom of speech. It's a great little rag that I've read for years. Anyway, they have something in here called Call Sheet. I think this is comes out every 2 weeks, maybe every week, every month. Anyway, it's Call Sheet, and it basically just talks about filming in Georgia. So, since a lot of us on this show are part of the film community, we act and all sorts of stuff, direct and make movies. Hopefully movies better than Derek Shapiro's, but we try to make movies. We're going to go over this every once in a while because it lets everybody out there that is into this stuff know about it as well. I'll start it out. Need for Speed. We know about Need for Speed, starring Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad, Michael Keaton, Rami Malek, Dominique Cooper, Imogen Poots, Kid Cudi, and Dakota Johnson. We'll be filming in Atlanta, Blue Ridge, Macon, and Rome from April 23rd through the end of June. As we know, it's based on a video game. And the synopsis is a newly prison-released street racer, played by Paul, who was framed by wealthy business colleague joining a cross-country race while seeking revenge. After learning of his plan, his former colleague places a bounty on his head. The script's being penned by brothers George and John Gatins, who wrote the screenplay for Flight, which was filmed in Atlanta, and I was an extra in, along with Chris Payne.
Right.
And it's basically not based on an individual entry in the video game, and it's being directed by former stuntman Scott Waugh. So I expect a lot of
Scott
stunts.
who?
Waugh, W-A-U-G-H.
Okay.
Going on down, adding to the list of recent baseball movies filmed in Georgia, 42, Trouble with the Curve. Actor John Hamm from Mad Men and 30 Rock will be in Atlanta May 4th through mid-July to shoot The $1 Million Arm, a drama based on the true story of how sports agent J.B. Bernstein, played by Hamm, discovered professional pitchers, Rinku Singh, and Dinesh Patel through a reality show he staged in India with cricket players. Craig Gillespie is directing.
Great.
We have the heartwarming titled holiday flick, A Frigging Christmas Miracle. I wonder if Irvin wrote this. A Frigging Christmas Miracle. Begins its 1-month shoot around Metro Atlanta in April. And according to MovieInsider.com, it stars Joel McHale, Lauren Graham, and Robin Williams.
Oh.
So that's something they'll be making soon
back.
up in Atlanta. Let me get to this one here. TV One announced at the end of March that it's picked up the Ricky Smiley Show for a second season. The show features the titular radio host along with Ray J, J. Anthony Brown, Lil JJ, lots of J's in there, Roz Ryan, Nore Victoria, and Demetria McKinney. It's based loosely on Smiley's life, a popular DJ based in Atlanta, and it's stories that are derived from his attempt to raise children by himself and still have a personal life, as well as from situations that arise at the radio station. The show is executive produced by and directed by Roger M. Bob, who I remember meeting him on the set of Why Did I Get Married? He used to work as an assistant to Tyler Perry. Roger Bob now has Bobcat Films. Native Atlanta Ed Helms is coming home to reboot the National Lampoon Vacation series. Helms will play Rusty Griswold, who, keeping with Griswold traditions, packing his family up for road tripping misadventures. His long-suffering wife will be played by Christina Applegate, who has been in town, Atlanta, for her part in the Anchorman sequel. No word yet if Chevy Chase or Beverly D'Angelo will return. Very unlikely that Randy Quaid will return as Cousin Eddie, since due to charges related to allegedly vandalizing his former California home, he faces possible arrest when he returns to the U.S. from Canada. And let me go one more. Let's say the John Stamos will be joining the cast of the USA Network's Necessary Roughness for all 10 episodes of the 3rd season. Of course, Necessary Roughness, I was an extra on that. One day they came to Macon. That's filmed up in Atlanta area and in the Georgia region. And let's go with TV movie The Watsons Go to Birmingham is in pre-production in Atlanta. Not much more info about this one, but the assumption's based on Christopher Paul Curtis's 1963 historical fiction book of the same name about a black family from Flint, Michigan, who travel south to visit a relative at the height of racial unrest in the region. They happen to be in Birmingham when the children's grandmother's church is blown up. So, and there's other things, of course, like Family Feud continues to film in Atlanta.
Steve Harvey is the host.
Steve Harvey is, to me, the second best host of that show ever. And there you go. And there's a few other things. If you want to learn more about them, just look up Stomp and Stammer online. You believe you could read this online. So there we go.
Wow. I have some good news.
No.
You do?
Vorpal is gone.
He got mad.
He got
Don't
mad.
keep talking about it. He'll come back.
Yeah, he'll come back.
I do have some good news, probably with you from entertainment. You will definitely will love.
Do it, brother.
Yes, yesterday, Rush fans can now relax. Yesterday, Rush, along with other inductees, have now been officially inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Remember, we tried to predict this one. This back on the morning roast, we were still doing it roasted cafe lounge. We made our predictions.
Did we get any right?
We got a few. We got Donna Summer right.
Donna Summer
got Rush right.
Did we get Quincy Jones right?
Yes.
I didn't say Quincy. Did I? I don't think I said Quincy.
Somebody
Jones.
did.
Y'all got it right. I didn't have him on my list.
think I said it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Maybe you said it.
Rush was among this year's 8 eclectic inductees, which also included fellow classic rockers Hart, singer-songwriter Newman, who made the song I Love L.A., rap group Public Enemy.
Yes.
Disco queen Donna Summer.
Which we knew she was going in because she had just died previously. To
Bluesman Albert King and producers Quincy Jones and Lou Adler.
There you go.
Adler was inducted by Richard Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong, before being serenaded by Carole King's Was So Far Away. Chad Nicholson was among Adler's fans in the audience who lavished the produce mobile at a standing ovation. And Newman, who was joined by Jackson Brown, John Fogerty.
That's Randy Newman, by the way.
Yes. Kicked off the Los Angeles ceremony with a performance of his classic I Love L.A., which was the official theme song of the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games, Summer Games.
If you notice, guys, and I guarantee it has to do with politically correctness.
Yeah.
You notice Randy Newman, one of his most famous songs is Short People Got No Reason. And you notice you never hear that mentioned with his name anymore.
I know.
I wonder why. Don't
Well,
you think it's because we're so PC now?
No.
They don't ever ask him to
It really
perform
did offend a lot of people. It didn't
Yeah, but
offend me.
come
I
on.
used to sing it every day.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, it's a song. It's a known song. Let's not just be so whiny that we can't.
And it was funny.
And it was popular. It's one of his biggest hits.
I know.
I mean, they always want to not mention that song, and I'm thinking that's more popular than some of the other songs of his they mentioned.
Oh, I loved it.
And it's like
I used to listen to it all the time.
it shows the ridiculousness. But to be honest with you, these Hall of Fame inductions are to me as annoying as the award shows, because I learned a little bit about these a few years ago, which I did not know before. But you know, these people pay. They have to pay to go to this thing.
Yeah.
The ones getting inducted have to pay. They have to pay for like the table that they're going to be sitting at. I mean that's ridiculous. To me, you're not getting an award if you got to pay for it. You know, I mean, it's like you're paying for the award.
Hey, Derek, did you see the message I just sent you and it got removed?
Probably not.
Oh,
I
damn.
just sent him a link. I found a link to that kid they're looking for on his Facebook.
Brian.
I found his page.
Uh-huh.
I sent him the link. And I went back. It's been removed.
It was a Facebook page?
Yeah, his Facebook page.
By the way,
Well,
Tara
family
London
probably,
said, your wife,
It just got removed.
I'm off to work. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I love you even though you talk too much. Bye. Yeah, baby. That's Heather for
And I
you.
sent you another one. You let them know they're looking for a Honda Civic or something like that. Reading
All right.
Well, maybe if you were here or if I was there, I would have something to put in my mouth, and then I wouldn't be talking. No. I had to. I'm sorry.
That's so bad. It's funny.
What?
It's so bad.
I mean her great cooking.
You have your political incorrectness.
I mean her cooking. She cooks a great
Thank
breakfast.
God she's not here.
Talking about a good breakfast she cooks.
Oh.
Come on, you guys have such dirty minds.
Oh,
Didn't Prince say
yeah.
that? Ooh,
Yeah.
Even though you talk too much. I like that.
5 seconds late.
He's
You
getting
had
as
urbanism.
slow.
You said it 20 seconds.
He's getting
I
as
know.
slow as me.
I know.
He's sitting there staring at the shit.
Oh my God.
Ed
He's
finally
getting-
had an urbanism.
He's getting
Instead
as
of an
slow as
aneurysm,
me.
Ed had an urbanism.
There we go.
He did it
Guys,
20
we
seconds
are-
later.
Wow.
Anyway. And Gamer Girl says, have a great weekend. Donnie Curry, welcome. Guys, we are a pitiful society when we cry over bullshit reasons as a title of a song. You're right, Donnie. You're right.
Why not? I'll give you that one.
Jews, what is it? To my Tupac said that Quincy Jones tried to screw him.
Really, Jews? I mean,
Well,
I've always,
Tupac's dead,
but I've
so-
always heard that Quincy was gay. Did
Well-
you ever hear that?
No, I never heard that.
I did hear that.
I did hear a story which I thought was quite hypocritical, where Tupac was talking about all these black guys like Quincy Jones were getting all these white women, marrying them, having the kids, and I'm like, and all of a sudden he's like, the night he got killed, he was like, he's engaged to his girlfriend who was one of Quincy Jones' daughters. And I'm like,
right.
How you gonna get mad at this guy when like he has a daughter that you're dating?
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah, I mean,
mom's
I know
husband?
Quincy Jones is married and has been married a long time and has children.
Mhm.
But I remember even hearing that throughout the grapevine and stuff through his.
Well, you're
Quincy,
around so many
that Quincy Jones
people.
was in the closet. I mean, I
Right, you have so many people around you, and you have, some of these guys that he put up as singers are better looking than the women he put up. So after a while, I guess maybe he got turned on.
But
by
let's
them.
face it, Tupac, and yes, Jews. Well, maybe Jews isn't black. I'm assuming people that are black on here. Yes, this is a white guy talking about Tupac. Because believe it or not, I have watched some shows and documentaries on Tupac. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
because I do like to give myself a wide variety of education. But a lot of things I noticed with him is Tupac. I learned watching stuff. He liked to start shit and make up shit just to make it up and cause problems.
Tupac.
He didn't believe a lot of what he said.
No.
I heard.
Well, yeah,
that,
you can't be a revolutionary and you got Thug Life tattooed
right.
on
Well,
your
not
stomach.
only that. I mean, regardless of what tattoo he's going to put on him. But my whole thing is that I had heard that the whole time that he and Biggie had this beef,
Yeah.
that basically Tupac really didn't have a problem with Biggie. That he had actually told him in person alone, all during that,
Yeah.
that man, that Biggie had come up to him and said, man, why are you doing this? I thought we were tight. Why are you doing all this? The
Yeah.
stuff with his wife, with
Yeah.
Faith Hill and all.
Well, it was
And
all
Faith
for-
Evans.
And
Faith Evans.
Faith Evans. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Faith Hill is.
It was all to keep
And-
up the image of
Well,
gangster.
and then his reply was Tupac's reply was, man, I'm just doing it for ratings. We got to keep this going for ratings. So basically, it's
And look
sad.
what happened.
Exactly. It's sad if that's true, because then you had somebody out there who didn't take it as a joke.
Yeah.
They decided to make gangbanging very serious
and
look
put slugs
what
in both
happened.
of them.
Because so.
Yeah, people, you made jokes about it, hey, why do so many people think that Tupac and Biggie are in heaven? Because they both had faith.
Oh,
Oh my God! Hey, Ian, look at that. He's got you double.
He's got me what?
He's got you double over here.
Oh, two of me. We're in trouble.
Like we
And,
ain't got enough problems.
I'm saying poor Derek, man. He's got to hear me in both
I
ears.
got split personalities.
Oh, hell, look at Derek right there. Derek's looking crazy in that one. Oh, Derek looks like those little puppet-headed guys in that movie, that horror movie, Puppet Master. Yeah.
Look at that smile. Look at it.
Whoa, Derek.
He's double the shine.
Imagine if you did a whole show of Derek just like that, sitting here alone doing a show with that crazy face.
Look at that one.
I'll probably
I
freak
like
people out.
I like it.
Derek's all twisted. He's the elephant man.
Ed, is there a way for just to make it all three
Ed
Irvings?
is the
Can
elephant
you make it
man.
all three Irvings?
I mean, Derek.
No? Okay. That's
Gamer
funny.
Girl
'cause
says
it's all three
OMG.
Irvings.
No, they prevented them making that part of the software.
Okay.
No 3 Irvings.
No
Gamer
three
Girl
Irvings.
says, OMG, you look like a weevil. Yeah, we look
Man,
wrong, but it don't fall down. DS Photo Guy says, if the Boston Bombers were in Macon, then the cops would have shot 7 of the 2 suspects by now.
You're right, DS.
7 out of 2.
No. Sorry to say, Photo Guy, if the Boston Bombers were in Macon, they still wouldn't have them caught, and they would still be talking about something else completely irrelevant. The mayor would still be sitting in his office talking about how he needs to make 2nd Street look better.
Yeah,
get his
exactly.
program. That's what would be happening. So.
Yeah, they brush it on
We
the
need to make
carpet.
downtown look better. I don't know why people.
No, the mayor.
Where did all these jackets go missing?
No,
Where did
the
jackets
mayor.
go?
The mayor would be saying, "Bombers? We don't have any bombers here."
Yeah.
You know,
And if a bomb went on, it'd be like one homeless guy that was standing on a corner because the city's dead downtown.
Let's go back to this because we learned this. We didn't bring this up. We learned this at the city council meeting. It was Mr. Dubose, wasn't it? That said he met with the mayor. I think it was him or Miss Westbrook. He met with the mayor earlier that day, and quote, the mayor said to him, "There's not racism in this city."
Oh my God!
Remember when he said that?
Yeah.
This shows you how off this mayor is.
Well, Fickling put that on his website,
right?
And then I took the whole thing and I threw it on Fickling, the thing that you said and some other stuff.
Yeah.
That there's no racial problems in this city.
This guy
goes to show you how ass backwards this mayor is.
Yeah.
How much he has his nose up his rear end and not looking at reality. So I put down, well, it doesn't surprise me that this mayor doesn't see what's under his Pinocchio nose.
Right.
You know, because he's a liar.
Right.
He's deceitful. He's
growing.
dismissive. How many more names do we have for this guy?
Mm-hmm. Incompetent.
Inefficient.
Idiotic, maybe, or is that too much?
He's inefficient because he's got one cop in one car wasting thousands of gallons of gas, I bet, every year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
Because they leave the cars on and then they do a 45-minute
miles.
harassment of the people here. Ridiculous.
That's funny. You know, this was a clean shirt out of the wash. Look, guys, I look down and I have one of these hanging out of my shirt.
What do you have?
Come on, bounce.
Oh my
It
God.
just came out of my shirt.
No wonder
I
you
was
smell
wearing this
good.
the whole time with this damn thing in my shirt. Out of the dryer.
Wow. But you know, I kind of teased a little bit.
At least we know it's
about
clean.
far as the entertainment. I did tease about it yesterday that Ray J, the former
Ray
Love,
J, the no talented guy that still gets jobs.
Well, if he gets jobs, he's still living off the coattails of his sister Brandy.
Right.
Came out with this, this top 1,000 song called "I Hit It First," you know, referring to the time that he had the sex tape with Kim Kardashian when she was young
Do
and
you
tender.
think him and
blah,
his
blah,
sister
blah.
had sex? I mean, that happens in families.
Well, he didn't have sex. I'm not saying Ray J had sex with Brandy. He had sex with Kim Kardashian.
This is
He had
how
a sex tape.
her name first got out, was through this tape
Yeah.
she made with Ray J.
Yes,
That's basically.
Well, despite the fact that she actually before then she had a little bit notoriety just barely before she broke up with her spouse Damon Thomas back in 2004, because she was so obviously Ray J must be lying because you didn't hit it first. Damon Thomas obviously did, or at least married her back in 2000. But the thing is, her first type of notoriety. First time I actually heard of this woman was because when she broke up Nick Lachey's and Jessica Simpson's marriage. When Nick Lachey cheated on Jessica with Kim Kardashian, supposedly.
Oh, I didn't know that happened.
And which is kind of weird because to this very day, Nick Lachey
Lachey hit it first.
Well,
Even
after her
before
husband.
Ray J.
Yeah, even before Ray J.
Nick Lachey.
So
okay.
So even then.
Yeah, Ray J had sloppy seconds.
Or thirds, really.
Lachey has to bring back a rebuttal song because Lachey has no career and he's in the dumps.
Yeah, and as far as we know, that's the only white guy Kim Kardashian has ever been with that we know of.
Yeah.
But ever since then, it's been straight Nubians.
What about that Frankenstein guy that she married? The guy with the big
Chris,
head.
He's half black. He's a mixed guy.
He looked like he would have been like a midget. He's got like the midget's face, you know, that big,
with a jawline,
kind of the big jaw and all that. But then he's tall.
He's like 6'8" and stuff. Yeah,
Like-
but I see what you mean. Yeah, he's kind of like a mix between Terrence Howard and Lurch from the Addams Family.
Yeah,
You know,
something like that.
You rang.
Yeah.
Hulk
Or
smash.
Herman.
A little bit of.
Or Herman. Hoo.
I love how we continuously have a Fred Gwynn reference on this show.
Yes.
I love
You
it.
notice that like 4 days in a row we've mentioned Fred Gwynn.
No, we didn't.
Part of a
3 days in a row.
We did
Kind of like the
yesterday.
Hulk.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll make sure I
Chris
mention him
Evans.
on Monday. How's that?
Yeah, Fred Gwynn, the unofficial mascot of the Morning Rose.
Yes.
Because we keep bringing him up.
And the Nut House.
Hulk's, yeah.
Right.
And that's what they had, didn't they? In the Munsters.
Oh, they had a
It
great
was
house.
kind of
I
like
love
a
the
nut
Munsters
house.
house.
Yes.
But keep going, Derek.
But it is just so
sorry,
funny.
Derek.
Chris Evans he does kind of look like a cross between Terrence Howard, Lurch from the Monsters, and maybe a little smidgen of the Hulk. You know, Hulk smash, puny Kardashian with
Yeah,
gigantic
he's like
booty.
that guy that swims. Remember that guy that swims? The one that smoked marijuana?
Phelps. Michael
Yeah,
Phelps.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps. He's got like 4 faces on one. Yeah, the guy is ugly as hell.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I'm like, Ray J, just for future's sakes, if you're gonna make a song talking about I hit it first, get a hit first. How about that?
Yeah.
Get a hit first. Make it at least I'm not even talking about in the top 10 or top 20.
Derek.
Make it in the top 100. Let it
Derek.
rank like 99, 98 or something.
Derek.
Work on that.
Email Miss Kardashian.
Uh-huh.
Give her the heads up. Say you need to come out with your own song that says called "Get a Hit First."
Yeah.
Make her have her album out. That's her rebuttal. You'll get credit, whether they want to give you credit.
Yes.
You'll get credit on the
Yes.
show. We'll know you did it.
Okay.
Email her right now. Do that, Derek.
I'll do it. I'll tweet her. I'll see if I can tweet
You
her.
need to write a song called
Yes.
"Get a Hit First."
Yes.
So what are you?
And that's the biggest. Yes, that's the only thing. He only has. I mean, explain. Follow this logic. What's wrong with it? He has a sex tape with her. She becomes more richer and more famous. He becomes more obscure. It's like, have you ever heard of somebody have sex with somebody and they become more famous than you are?
But let's face it.
You know.
Let's face it, guys.
Hey, let's have a camera right there. Bam, bam, bam. Come on, be somebody.
But let's face it. Let's face it. I think the reason that's the case is women in general
Yeah.
that people think are attractive
Yes.
and that are willing to put out like she shows she was willing to put out.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Are going to get further, right? Let's just face it.
Yeah.
People are going to go after the women more so than the men.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, as far as like Hollywood and giving them jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes on all the time. I mean, there's something called the casting couch for a reason way back when. It's plain and simple. Women are going to have a chance at getting stuff better, especially if it's women that people think look good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes without saying, even on a lower level, on a local level. I mean, look at some of these people around here that they're making movies that try to hire these local actresses or these out of town actresses. We know they're obviously going for them because they think they look good.
Well,
Right?
yeah.
They're not going for their talent.
Yeah, they're not
Come
going
on.
for their SAT score
No,
or
of
nothing like
course
that.
not.
No.
I mean, and it's obvious. I mean, and again, that's questionable whether they look good because that's opinion.
Yeah.
For example, I'll bring one particular lady up. This local girl, Christina Pickles. People think she looks good. I don't think she does, but people think she does. I don't think she can act worth a shit. People think she can, or they're hiring her for her supposed look. So that's my point: is that women have an easier chance of getting in the door, Derek. We know that. They have a better chance. Especially a woman that's willing to get down there and spread her legs. Let's face it, right?
Yeah, but
the same thing happened with Megan Fox. Megan
Yeah.
Fox, horrible actress, right? You know what Megan Fox was? She
Yeah.
was an extra.
Yeah.
She was an extra that Michael Bay saw on some movies
Mm-hmm.
and or whoever, his assistant saw, liked her look, thought
Mm-hmm.
she looked great, and they turned her into a main actress.
Yeah.
And it was all based on
And had
looks.
ever since she was on shows like 2.5 Men
Yes.
and then got him.
So how many times has that happened for a man, Derek? Very few times.
Very few times.
That
At least
never
not for
happens.
his looks.
You don't see a guy as an extra out there as an extra going, hey, and all of a sudden everybody just grabs him and makes him a big star. That doesn't happen, okay? It happens with the women.
Yeah, but it's like night and day though. I mean, Ray J. I mean, which he didn't. I mean, basically he's like the Bridget Nielsen of R&B because he just keep killing his career all the time. I mean, he killed other people's careers. I mean, he's the sitcom killer. He was on back when he was 20 years ago. He was on a show, the Sinbad show, when he had like where Sinbad adopted these kids and stuff like a Different Strokes type of thing. Had Salma Hayek on there when she was young. I mean. But they got rid of Salma Hayek and kept the kids. I said, bump that. I would have just got rid of kids and have some. We make some kids and cast him on the show.
See, Derek even has that mentality.
But
Derek's admitting. I'm expecting Derek to write a script for a movie, and Derek's not going to cast any men in it. It's going to be like an all-female cast because Derek's just trying to get out of the
By
way.
the way, Donnie says, bullshit, Anthony.
Jean-Claude
Van Damme was an extra in the movie Breaking.
And
wow.
I've got
Movie
your copies
Breaking.
of Breaking.
Yeah,
I
okay.
gotta
You may have
watch
to check
this.
that out, man.
But I didn't know that, Donnie, so I'll give you one. Touche, Donnie. But the thing about it, you got to admit, Donnie, you have to admit it happens more for women. Come on, right?
Well,
I mean, okay. So if you're writing that, what you say, Jean-Claude's the token one Belgian guy it happened for. Okay, okay. But come
on. But look what happened. Not just acting. I mean, she's been in Scary Movie. Kim's been in Scary Movie. She's been in a Tyler Perry movie. I mean, what was the last movie you remember Ray J in? Maybe Mars Attacks.
I don't keep up
Mars
with Ray
Attacks.
J. Was he in that?
Yeah. He played He played Jim Brown's son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mars Attacks.
I like
Tim
Mars
Curry.
Attacks. That was a good movie.
Tim Burton movie.
But
That's the only movie
that
I've last seen him in. But other than Mars Attacks and Moesha, what has he done? 2 reality shows that are canceled now for the love of Ray J with some just basically some ghetto chocolate version of The Bachelor or something like that. I mean, come on. You got to do. And Kim Kardashian has like a clothing line. She has some retail stores with her sisters and stuff. The dude doesn't even have a freaking shoe deal or jacket deal. Not even a freaking lollipop to his name. Right. Even the people she dated, Reggie Bush, Heisman Trophy winner, one of the MVPs in the Super Bowl, played for the Saints and stuff. I mean, Reggie Bush, NFL Super Bowl champion. Kanye West, Grammy Award winner. Who has he dated since it broke up? Oh yeah, Whitney Houston killed her career. And, well, that's what makes you rest in peace. I'm just saying. But come on, but dang, and it's not even the 1988 Whitney Houston who won Grammys and stuff, who had swept off her feet by Bobby Brown. No, it was the 2009, 2010 getting out of rehab, divorcing Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston.
But Donnie Curry, I know about Cuba Gooding Jr., but I didn't bring him up, and I'll tell you why. Cuba Gooding Jr. is a case of nepotism, Donnie Curry. Cuba Gooding Jr. is already in a family of entertainers and actors and dancers and singers.
Well, okay, because his dad was in the main ingredient band, Cuba Gooding Sr.
When you start going into being related to somebody, well, we already know that's happening.
Well, that happened with Cuba Gooding.
Well, that's what Donnie brings up.
He wasn't.
Cuba Gooding doesn't count because
he was an extra in Coming to America.
I know. That's what I mean, and I knew that already before Donnie
put
that. Because I was an extra in Fighting Temptations, and I was on a set with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to him.
Remember Peebles?
We were talking about that on that set about how Cuba Gooding Jr. was an extra at one time.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, Donnie, is he already had the kind of 1 foot in because of his relations and his bloodline. We don't count that. We know that people that are part of a family, we know nepotism thrives big time.
Yeah.
Big time in Hollywood.
By the way,
and granted, Kardashian does come from a kind of known family. Her dad was an OJ lawyer, but he wasn't an actor or an entertainer.
Yeah.
And of course, her stepdad, Bruce Jenner, that woman, he looks like a lesbian.
Yeah.
See Bruce Jenner, man?
Well, he still looks like a lesbian.
Bruce Jenner's face looks horrible.
Well, he still looks like a lesbian.
You need
Game
to
of girl.
You need to Botox some Wheaties in his face.
Jeez.
You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to sit here and drink.
Yeah, look, that's great. Irvin, show what you're doing. Irvin wanted to stop his cough, and Ed gave him cough medicine. Show him the cough medicine. They're not sponsors, but go ahead and show it. There's an unofficial sponsor, Irvin's Cough Medicine.
It's Puerto Rican rum.
Parrot Bay.
Yeah, baby.
9:45, Irvin's drinking.
Why the hell not?
Why not?
Hey,
that'd be one heck of a sponsor
Actually,
right
he
there.
said it's good for the cough. I only had a swish.
Welcome to the Morning Roll, sponsored by
Parrot Bay.
Parrot Bay.
Yes. Parrot Bay.
Molly, want a cracker? You can't say cracker.
But Kim Kardashian certainly does. Bam.
That's a
anyway.
That's how you do it. You don't even script it. All right.
It's not water, folks. It is not water. This is for real.
Yeah.
Diaz probably wants some
and I'm going to continue. Every time I cough, which is what, 20 times an hour?
Yes.
I'm going to take a swish.
That's awesome. If that works, we're just going to start getting you that.
Yeah, why not?
We're just going to get you a case.
What the hell?
Parrot Bay, do you want to sponsor this show?
Oh, my God.
This is about to be the morning toast. Irving.
I know.
Can you smell what the roast is brewing?
Brewing, you bastard. Okay, here we go. I wanted to make a comment here. Jew says Kardashian has a vagina? And American women are born viable in any arena. Men have to learn what they have.
Have to earn what they have.
Sounds like I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
He's right. No, I know exactly. He's right.
What the hell is he saying?
He's saying that it is a little easier for women if the women are willing to completely go for broke
Yeah, like
And-
be a whore.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to say it that way. It's a lot easier. It's a lot, and now don't get me wrong. I know there's gay people in Hollywood, and if you're an attractive guy and you're willing to sleep with these gay producers in Hollywood, and a lot of them are Jews, just saying it. But anyway, that's because of Jews.
Oh.
But anyway, you're right. If you're willing to go for broke, so to speak, you're
Yeah.
going to get your foot in the door better.
Well, that's kind of
Donnie, I know we can bring up people that were extras and became actors
Jesus.
because, let's face it, because extras go on to try to be actors. They get agents and blah, blah, blah. We know that.
yeah.
What I'm saying, Donnie, is that it's easier to be, and I've been on a lot of sets as an extra, it's easier to be that girl that shows up, and they do it all the time. You've seen it, Derek.
Well, it just happened the other day when we were doing the that girl, ripped open her jacket.
Yeah.
Next thing, everybody's like, "Ooh."
Oh, I wasn't there for that. Remember?
No, yes, you were.
No, I walked through the car. I was there, but I wasn't standing outside with you guys.
No. You're not remembering what I'm talking about.
Grant's Lounge?
The day that they did the auditions.
Oh.
Remember that day?
I thought you meant Grant's Lounge.
No, the day. Well, the Grand Lounge was another girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had gigantic boobies.
Right.
But so did the one in the
Razzle?
audition. The audition that they had, that we were watching
Theater
the
Making.
audition.
For Spamalot.
And she for Spamalot.
Yes.
And all these
She takes
women are
her jacket
coming
off,
out.
yeah.
And she had a jacket on.
Yeah.
When she removed that jacket, she had one of those skimpy little dresses that kind of like cling on to your butt and all that. It wasn't that tight,
No.
but you
And
could
it wasn't
tell it was
short.
skimpy.
Right.
And she goes downstairs. She's got a little strap on, a
Yeah.
cleavage the size of.
Not that strap on, Donnie Curry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, she had a cleavage that looked like that place that I talked about yesterday.
Grand Canyon?
Grand
Yeah,
Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
And unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you could tell that everybody was going to be, even if she has the voice of a frog, she's going to win. It just so happened she had a nice voice.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, of course, sex sells. We know that. Sex sells.
Yeah, it
People
does.
sell it all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
But,
Anyway.
but women, I do think, get a better chance. A slightly better chance, Donnie Curry.
Hey, Donnie, I have a question for you. He says, I was just commenting on what you're saying. Women are the only ones to become stars after being an extra, I thought. Where do you get that knowledge from? Have you ever been an actor?
Well, my point is this, Donnie.
I mean, he's trying to come across like he knows what the hell he's talking about.
well-
I want to just know, where's he getting this?
Right. Well, I mean,
Anthony's been in the business 35 years now.
well, no, he's right in the sense of naming some people that were extras, and I'm telling you that happens because when you're an extra, you move to the next level. You're like, I'm gonna get an
Right.
agent. I want
And
to
that
become a
makes
legitimate
sense.
actor. Of course, that's a lot of people's goal. But what I'm getting at is, let me put it this way, Donnie. Where do you find a lot of cases of people that were guys making porno tapes and then their career flourished? Okay, let me put it that way. Okay, right? We have Kardashian, Paris Hilton, all these women that made porno tapes, and then right afterwards, hey, they're all over the place. They're getting jobs, they're getting gigs, they're getting media attention. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't happen to a lot of guys. Now, you have the guys that are already famous, like Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson.
He mentioned Stallone.
Right, but
Yeah.
Stallone, but let's face it, Stallone got where he got not because of his stag film history.
Yeah.
He wrote Rocky. He wrote a film
wrote Rocky.
that got somewhere,
And
that
yeah.
broke him. Okay, he did it
Which won Best
legitimately.
Picture.
All right,
I can't
he
remember.
did it legitimately.
It was just
I don't hear about Kardashian and Paris Hilton writing a great script.
Wow.
Okay,
No.
come on, Donnie, let's be real.
No, and not only that, you have women
I
like
just tweeted
Lucille
Kim.
Ball. Lucille Ball started out as an extra,
Yes.
as one of the Goldwyn girls,
Uh-huh.
and she developed into her own company,
Comedian.
where she started Star Trek and all these I Dream of Jeannie. All this was Desi Lou and Sherwood, the guy Sherwood. You know who I'm
Sherwood
talking
Schwartz,
about.
yeah.
The guy that his daughter's still around. And yeah, I mean, I agree, Donnie. If you take a look at a lot of the old television shows, you'll see a lot of stars. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Don Rickles was an extra on Batman. Could you imagine that?
I know, he was one of the
played
henchmen.
one of the
He
henchmen.
was
with
the Riddler's henchman? Or
Yeah.
Penguins.
Yeah.
Penguins.
He was one of the henchmen, he was.
And he was a little famous before that, but he was nowhere near as famous.
Right.
You know, so you do have a lot of even this guy, Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
Okay.
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen,
yes.
big time.
Steve McQueen's first movie ever was
Excellent.
The Blob. Was the original Blob movie.
Right.
That was Steve McQueen's
1958.
Right.
I think, yeah.
What did he play again? He played the kid, right?
I haven't
Oh,
seen
he
that
didn't
movie
play
in
the
ages.
sheriff.
No, he was a smaller part.
Right.
Than the sheriff. That was his first movie. He was.
And
not-
he never got killed in it.
Hey, I'm honestly, guys, you're joking and all, and I'm open about this because I don't believe in kind of keeping things hidden, you know. And I've said on him before.
Show which one.
I have actually with my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I had
The creator of the Brady
we
Bunch
had made our own
and
home
Gilligan's
porno
Island.
before. That is true, guys, and I've said on this
Wow.
show before. They're bringing up that I did porn. No, I never did it professionally, but I did make a tape with an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons I was on Howard Stern way back when I was on the Howard Stern show in 1998 when he had the E! Entertainment show. I was on the E! show and I was on the radio show. Of course, the E! show, we were edited down to like 5 minutes, but our actual appearance on his radio show was about 15, 20 minutes. And it was me and my girlfriend at the time, and it wasn't Heather. But, no, we made a little tape, just a couple of
Yeah, now a tape.
And so you're not off that I did that before, but no, I've never made gay porn. So
Could you see Anthony in a porn film? I can. With that cheap
I've got the
transistor
copies
music.
still. I got copies of it still. I don't show it. To
Did you
people.
have hair at the time, or did you wear
No,
a
I
wig?
was straight bald.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
you were
straight
bald.
I look about the same as I look now. I was a little bit. I was probably a little bit bigger, muscular looking because as you age, you slowly kind of.
So you shrunk.
Yeah. And and we just did it. It was something we did. It was like hey, let's. My girlfriend was willing to do it.
Okay, enough.
Well, I'm explaining.
No. I'm just saying.
I'm the guy. I'm the guy that's not going to sit here and try to hide something.
No, that's good.
What I mean?
That's good.
It's,
You made your point.
And it's in the past. Hell, it was 98.
I know.
96,
I know. It wasn't a long. But the fact that you went on a show to talk about it is funny.
Well, I mean, let me explain real quick. This is how we got on the show. I used to love watching Howard Stern. I loved his show. His show is great. I listen to it anymore on satellite. And I couldn't listen to it, of course, in Macon, Georgia, but I would watch it on E! When he had his E! show. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, I would write him. I mean, I was a regular guy that they knew of through the mail. I would write letters. I would send them crazy gag gifts. I would send them,
To who?
To Howard Stern. I had their address. It was when they were at K-Rock in New York. Mm-hmm. And I would send them. And I built up this whole thing to where they learned who we were. Through me writing him, and I'd talk about my girlfriend at the time.
Kind of like what we're doing with...
right. And then, so what I did is then I eventually got to a point after about a year or so of keeping in touch with them, I said, we're coming to New York, my girlfriend and I. And they didn't believe it. I said, we're going to go, we got money, we're going to Greyhound up there, we're going to go live in New York. And that's when I stayed at the Chelsea Hotel, I told you. We went up to New York, and we had made this video, of course, before in Macon, Georgia. We made it here, we didn't make it in New York. And so I came up there, and bam, one morning we went right to the office, up the elevator. If I remember right, they were on the 11th floor, somewhere around there. Went up the elevator. They had, of course, a barred door. You couldn't get in unless you got beeped in because of security reasons. Bam, we went up there. Me and my girlfriend at the time, her name was Angel. And bam, Baba Booey, Gary comes out, Stuttering John comes out, and they're like, why do you want to be on the show? And they knew who we were through my writing them constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I said, well, we're here. And then I said, well, they said, well, you got to give us a reason for us to let you on. We can't just have you on. And then I pulled it out of the bag. I said, well, here you go. How about this? Here's a tape my girlfriend and I made. And they loved it. And they called us in. And you know who was also on the show that same day?
Oh.
And he was sitting in the green room, and he just looked at us when we walked by when we got off the studio. Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins was on the same day. So we're in there, and we go in the green room, and they're doing their show. We're hanging out, blah, 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 blah. And then we go in there finally, and basically, he plays part of the tape on the show, but of course it's on E! So they have to pixelate it. They can't show it on E! So they pick it. And they're watching it, and Robin's watching it. And, we're kind of joking around about it. And my girlfriend, right before we went on, we got up early that morning, and before we walked to the station from the Chelsea Hotel, we had a couple of drinks. We said, let's still loosen up. Let's have some drinks. Well, my girlfriend was a petite girl. She was 4'11", blonde, very petite girl, and she can't handle it as much. So she got on the show, and she was pretty damn rude to Howard, and it's funny.
Oh, your girlfriend?
Yeah. You know, she just was not very sociable with him, and it was kind of funny, but, you know, I'm laughing.
Was he playing off that?
Kind of, but they edited it up the way it was on E. It didn't show that.
Yeah.
But I had my copy of Rolling Stone magazine at the time that he was on the cover of, one of the 2 or 3 that he was on, and I got his autograph. You know, we met him, got him to sign the Rolling Stone.
Well, we did when Howard Stern was running for governor.
Right.
And you know, I would listen to Howard Stern every day religiously, and literally had to stop the car on like 3 occasions because I was laughing so hard.
Wow!
I swear to God, so help me. I had to stop the car literally like 3 times. I was laughing so hard.
Right.
I always found him to be one of the greatest comedians, but he's better off on radio than he is on television.
Because he has a face for radio, right?
Something happens with television.
You're right. Well, because television also is edited. Edited can ruin it.
Yeah.
Because on radio, it's a full 3-4 hours of nonstop.
I love when he used to go off on people. I love when he and that big guy, comedian,
Baba Booey.
No. Anyway,
Jackie the Joke Man.
No. Well, Jackie the Joke Man, he fired, or he threw him out, or he left.
And then there was Fred, who was a real nice guy,
right?
The sound guy. Fred.
I'm trying to remember this comedian's name.
Artie. You talking about Artie?
No. He was a comedian, stand-up comedian.
Dice Man.
Dice Man. Oh my God, what a horrible fight. Right. That went on for days.
New Jersey gamer girl, Dice Man.
And the Dice Man tried to make a comeback now. And he's living comfortably. You know, they did some report on him on ABC. He's living comfortably now. But that guy, Howard Stern destroyed his career.
Right.
Because once he left the Stern Show, he was kind of like the illegitimate child.
Yeah.
Plus, he showed himself for who he really was. Racist, arrogant, mean-spirited. And Howard was hitting him left and right.
Dice Clay or Howard Stern?
That was on Howard Stern.
And he's talking about Andrew Dice Clay.
Right, Andrew Dice Clay showed his panties. Yeah, let's put it that way. And people were not happy with him at all.
No,
and the callers were calling in saying you're a jerk, you're a racist punk, you're an idiot.
You know what's really funny? You know what's really funny though? It's really funny that 20 years ago, I mean, people, you have like, you know, the red state, you know, the Republican conservative people, then you have the gay community. They were like butting heads with each other. It's kind of funny that 20-something years ago they were actually in sync with each other because both conservatives and the gay community, lesbian gay community, they hated Dice Man and the late Sam Kinison.
Like Gamer Girl says, Howard killed his career. He had a funeral for Andrew Dice Clay on his show. Yeah.
And Aunt Jemima, no, my girlfriend wasn't 12. She looked younger, but her birth year was 1974, so she was 5 years younger than me. And but no, everybody thought she was young. I mean, it was really kind of weird. When we traveled across the country in a Greyhound bus and went in different places, I always I'm giving something away. I always got her a child's ticket and paid less because she was like 4'10", 4'11".
Who was this?
My ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
And she was about about 90 pounds.
Oh, 103.
410. No, she was really. She had a figure. It was hourglaze, but real small.
Yeah.
She wasn't a stick and bone person. But the thing about it is, if she didn't wear makeup, she could pass for a kid. So when we traveled on the Greyhound, I would always buy one adult ticket and one kid's ticket.
No kidding.
And they would never catch us. Never. It was so classic. We went to California that way. We went to New York. We went to Texas that way, Houston, Texas. We went to Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. And it was great because the bus driver would just look at the ticket.
Bonnie and Clyde.
It was awesome. That's the good thing about having somebody that looks like a kid. Granted, you're right, Jemima. Yeah. People might have thought I was a pedophile.
Yeah.
And they never could believe when she would buy alcohol, they would look at her ID and they'd go, there is no way you're that old.
Yeah.
1974. And it was like, that's
it. Donnie, Andrew Dice Clay is pulling in 1,500 people, right?
Yeah.
And he shows, like he says, in Las Vegas. Do you know that there are retro bands They're pulling more than that.
Yeah.
All they want to do
Right.
is see an old act
Right.
replayed. So that doesn't account where he had thousands of fans,
Right.
thousands during his heyday, where he can fill up a freaking stadium. So I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, it says Vegas is
You're
where
talking
actors
about
go
a
to
guy
die.
with
Gamer Girl
1,500
says.
people.
That is
I've
true.
spoken a bigger crowd.
Yeah. Gamer Girl, no, Heather does not want to see it. I mean, Heather knew about it when it happened because Heather and I were still always in touch with each other after we broke. See, Heather and I went out twice before this. Well, once before this. Heather and I were together from 93 to 94. We broke up. We went our separate ways. And then for those 8 years in between, I was dating this girl, Angel, and Heather was dating a guy named Tim, and she moved up to Atlanta. And then what happened is we kind of just, at the same time, broke up with our significant others. I broke up with Angel, we broke up, and then she broke up with Tim, and then that's how we got back together. And it was around 2003, 2002.
Yeah.
And then that's how Heather and I got back together and had kids and got married. And she knew about it. Heather saw the Howard Stern episode when we were on there,
Oh, Lord.
on E! We were friends, and she saw it, and then, a lot of people in Macon saw it, because for the longest time, you weren't here then, I couldn't go down the street without people looking at me going, I saw you on Howard Stern, because they constantly repeated that show.
Yeah.
Constantly. It was almost like they were doing it on purpose just to, jab it down my throat.
Kind of like what they do on the
And
news.
I had people constantly, everybody around here knew about it. The theater people know about it. Everybody around here, it's just time has passed and
I
they
guess this is
forgot
before
about
I
it.
knew it.
Yeah, you
Wow,
did.
what a rep.
But all the young people here that have no idea about that with me because they weren't around then. But all the old standbys remember when I was on Howard Stern with my girlfriend, who still lives in Macon, Georgia. She still lives here. And anyway, so what happened is everybody knew about it. And I've always said to Heather, if you want to watch it, here it is on VHS. I have it. I'm not going to make you, and she doesn't want to watch it, which is fine. She doesn't have to watch it. She gets it live and in
She
Memorex.
shouldn't have to watch
She
it.
gets it live and in Memorex. She doesn't have to watch it.
Well, maybe.
I mean, she doesn't have to watch it if I'm there in person.
Maybe I should be so lucky because being in that movie, The Chip Factory, where I had like
said
two
it
women.
best.
Ed, is there a way for me to bring a clip of it on the show, but we pixelate it to where you don't get in trouble? That'd be funny as hell if we just showed like a part of the tape, but just none of the actual action.
He'd have to
just
look
to
it
show
over.
the chatters, it'd be so funny.
Well,
but-
you could start another account and go there for a minute.
Right. That'd be funny.
And then they can meet us back here.
I mean, it wouldn't
This
show-
will be banned.
Yeah.
Daryl won't like it.
Gamer Girl says, I wonder if the episode is on YouTube.
I don't know that either. I have a copy of the episode somewhere taped off of TV, but I got to find it through all my old VHS tapes. I hope it's still just like I have a copy of when the same girl and I were on the beginning of Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher.
Yeah.
When we were in the audience for that, and I talked about this, and the camera used to scan at the beginning of that show, and it would be like, "Welcome to Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher." This is
So
Bill
you
Maher."
did that?
Well, we were in the audience for it. This is when we moved to California.
Did you say, welcome to
No.
the...
I was in the audience.
Yeah.
But we were in the front row. They sat us in the front row. So when that camera panned across the front row at the beginning of every show, you'd see Angel and I clapping. And this is another thing I didn't bring up, but you guys will love, and you'll probably jab at me.
Feel that wind?
Yeah, it feels good. At the time, I had a kind of industrial punk look. Like I dressed in, I wore that PVC material stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like the black. It looks like leather, but it's not. I had the black shiny pants. I had the rubber shirt. The thing. It was my whole look, and I didn't always wear it. I wore it when I went out sometimes. And then I would wear sometimes. I'm getting there, man. I'd wear sometimes, like the stuff on you, the collar, the punk stuff, the collars. I had a pierced ear, and so when on both shows, on Howard Stern and Politically Incorrect, I'm wearing this getup. So imagine this camera goes across, and there's this bald big guy with this tight black shirt on, with this young looking petite blonde girl, right?
Sexy.
Yeah, it looks basically like a big fetish thing. But I was into that.
Gamer Girl asked, what year was, so I could look it up on YouTube?
What year was Howard Stern or Politically Incorrect?
I guess either one.
Howard Stern was 88. August 88 was when we were on Howard Stern. I mean, sorry, 98. 98.
98, yeah.
Politically Incorrect was, we were in California before New York.
Derek, why don't you research it for that?
Okay.
Politically Incorrect was 96, I think.
Okay.
Gamer Girl. Or 95. And I'll tell you what, Gamer Girl and everybody else, the Politically Incorrect episode's the one where the guests were Ariana Huffington. She was on the panel. Janine Garofalo. Who were the other two? I can't remember, but it was
You'll remember.
It was the first episode when Bill Maher went to ABC.
Okay. Well, we had a show a couple of weeks ago where it was all about me. Today, it's all about Anthony.
I'm sorry, guys.
But no, and I'll tell you why. Because we never really did all about Anthony.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
I don't want to keep talking, guys, but we bring it up because Derek was bringing up porno with Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
So.
No, but these are great stories. I mean, I talked a little bit about my own story with what the hell is his name? David Letterman.
Oh yeah.
Mentioning my name and I was not on a show per se, but I could have been. The problem was that I was always working. Right. But they used to give tickets out for Letterman right on the street.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been.
No, I never went. We never went to a Letterman.
Yeah, or to any of those shows. They're free. That's why even Letterman makes fun of it.
They fill the opposites.
I
mean, they fill the audience.
Just to fill an audience.
Yeah.
And they'll give those tickets out at a certain time, and you got to know where they're there, and go and pick up your tickets. And limit is 4. So because they figure, I guess, couples go together.
Yeah.
Well, but all those shows are free.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you had to pay to get on.
No.
Right.
Okay, no, I didn't.
And so what happens is that they expect you, especially a character like you, walking in looking like a porn star. They want you to do something for it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So they peg you out. They say, "There's a guy that we can use." Unlike
I looked
Howard Stern.
Well, it was perfect for the show. You can tell when the PA was bringing us in for Politically Incorrect, and they were
staring at you.
Well, they had to know. Look, if a show's called Politically Incorrect, let's get a guy on the front row with a dog collar.
Oh,
that's very politically incorrect, right?
Right.
And so, and on top of it, he's with this little girl that looks about 12, even though she's not. And she's a blonde, and she looks typical Hollywood blonde.
And it looks kinky.
So let's put them right there, and I gotta find that tape too because I have that.
You
footage.
Gotta find that
and
tape.
Basically, you see the camera go across, and it's like we're clapping, and then you hear the guy doing the voiceover. Yeah. Welcome, it's Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher.
You should have carried a leash.
Yeah,
I've got it
Gamer Girl says, "Wait, you were on the same time as Billy Corrigan, right? Because I found the '98 episode that Billy was on."
Yeah, but Gamer Girl. It wasn't put together on the same show. We were in the studio the same time that Corrigan was interviewed. But I'll tell you what show it was, Gamer Girl. When we were actually edited to the end of another show, because again, they only gave us 5 minutes. They only gave us 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's all
show.
they give you.
On the actual radio show, they gave us 15, 20 minutes. But when they edited it for the E-show, it was 5 minutes. And it was at the end of a show. The brunt of that show was some porn actress was on it. And she wasn't there when we did our show. What they did is they took an interview from another day and spliced it with our thing. Billy Corrigan ended up being a whole different, 2-part show that we weren't on.
So it was a whole different show.
But Corrigan was there. You get what I'm saying? They taped it all in one day, but they put it on different shows.
Okay.
When we were doing our show, because I remember leaving the studio. We were walking out of Howard's studio after we're done, and I walked by and I looked right to the right. Here's the door of the green room. And there's Billy Corrigan sitting there. And it's funny because Billy Corrigan was kind of dressed like me because he used to wear that same stuff. Remember, guys?
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkin guy, he used to wear the shiny black pants.
Yeah, black pants.
Exactly. And he was bald-headed. So he stands there, and you can tell he was listening to our show through the speaker in the green room.
Probably nervous.
And he looked over at me looking so meek, and I walked and I looked through, and he looked over at me, and he had a big black guy as security sitting with him. He had his security with him, and he just kind of looked over at us like, that's my remembering of Billy Corrigan's face seeing me. It was like
staring at him.
Oh my God, those two were just on before me,
and I gotta beat them because I'm such a washer has
So
been.
it was funny.
Well,
whatever.
it's 10:11. It's 10:11 a.m.
I'll shut up.
10:11 a.m. in Macon, Georgia. It's 71 degrees right now. It's partly cloudy with a chance of showers. You're watching the Morning Roast live from the Nut House. We'll be back.
We have a Gmail
If you're
address.
just joining us, there was a shootout overnight, and suspect number 1 in the Boston Marathon terrorist attack was killed. Suspect number 2 on the loose. We're going to take a look at some amateur video from the shootout last night in Watertown, Massachusetts.
residents in Watertown are being told to stay inside. No cars being allowed in or out of Watertown right now. That town really under complete lockdown. Other towns in the area, people told to stay at home and businesses to remain closed.
Something you do is that you took up riding a motorcycle when you were 45. You took up flying an airplane when you were 50. You are ratcheting it up as you go along, where other people might be, pulling back. Are you gonna be jumping buses or something when you're, 90? I mean, do you have plans to do more sort of exciting, dangerous things?
No.
This is when that's flying a plane, but that's not dangerous. Right.
Yeah, I'm calling him running.
Dangerous. Right. Well, if I flew it, it would be very dangerous. You flying it, not dangerous.
I like to learn new things, do new things, something different.
What made you decide the airplane? Was it something you were always interested in? You decided to wait?
I was interested when I was a kid in college. I took flying lessons for about, I took 5 or 6 lessons. It was $15 an hour for the plane and the instructor.
Right.
Now, I don't mean to move on to other parts of your career, but there's a Star Wars movie coming out. J.J. Abrams is directing it.
Yeah,
and I would love to know what your plans are for this.
I can't.
You can't say what's going on?
There's nothing. I can't talk about.
Well, we have some people in the audience who'd like to ask you some questions. Would you be all right taking some questions from the audience? Any rules?
No Star Wars.
No Star Wars questions. Okay, all right, yeah, no problem. I think we have. We have a gentleman right there. So no Star Wars questions.
Do you like being in movies? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, pretty straightforward there. Do we have any? Do we have another? Okay, we have someone right over here. Yes.
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry?
No, not really.
Do we have?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have an. Okay, yes, is it right here? Question right there. Yeah. Yeah, somebody. You
son of a bitch. What do you want? Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Always trying to blame me. You're the one who couldn't keep it in your furry pants.
Actually, he's not wearing any kind of. Doesn't wear pants.
I rest my case. You're so full of. How did he get in here? Did you set this up?
No. I just thought you two could bury the hatchet. I mean, I know you've had issues in the past, and I thought it'd be nice to get you together, What happened between you?
He knows what he did. She was my wife. You Wookiee sack of.
Please, that's not. No reason to speak.
You listen to me. You're either on my side or you're on his side.
Well,
I'm out of here.
No,
really.
No, I really didn't mean to.
I heard he does.
Yeah,
I'll see you in hell.
And we're back.
I'll see you in
hell.
You know what? Jimmy Kimmel is really doing a great job with his show. Every time I watch a show, I laugh. It reminds me a lot, because Carson had his own deal going. But this is like
horrible.
Carson.
Carson Daly's
Dick
horrible.
Cavett sucked. Joey Bishop, whatever his name was, or Joey.
No.
You know who was horrible? Chevy Chase was horrible as a
He was terrible. That's why it only lasted not even 3 months.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, that this guy is up to date and he's funny as hell, but it kind of gives me the same feeling that when I was a kid and I used to watch Carson and just crack up.
Yeah.
You know, it does the same thing to me. Letterman doesn't really do that to me anymore.
Letterman's good though. I can't stand Jay Leno.
He's very
I never liked Leno.
David Letterman is very consistent.
Transplant or
That chinhead.
transplanted chin.
Leno annoys the hell out of me from the beginning.
But he had that chin
Leno's
back
a
since
fake.
the 70s. He had that chin back in the 70s.
Yeah, DS Photo Guy agrees. He says Jay Leno sucks balls. Well, we
Yeah.
agree with DS. I don't know who wrote it first.
Yeah, he got a chin job because he looked like that moon figure. You know, the moon.
Yeah, from McDonald's. He looked like the McDonald's Moon Man. He did.
Yeah, but
He
I
did.
think that's just some weird trait because I remember him having that same chin back in the episode of Good Times where JJ had to go there because his girlfriend that he was dating told him, I got VD and you gave it to me. And he ended up in the clinic and he was sitting next to Jay Leno and he says and Jay Leno asked JJ, what are you in here for? Well, I got I got a cold. Oh really? Everyone here got VD.
Well, remember, he was also like a small bit part on, I think, Facts of Life. Wasn't he? Was that Jay Leno?
No, that was George Clooney.
But Jay Leno was, I never forget seeing pictures of Jay Leno. He played a biker in the 80s. Before anybody knew who he was a biker on some 30-minute sitcom. He had the leather jacket. He kind of did the Italian look. He had the hair. And it was either facts.
And it wasn't funny.
No, it was. It was either Facts of Life or Family Ties.
I think.
Or Growing Pains
now,
or something
now
like
Dice
that.
Clay. He did
Not
play.
Dice. Jay
He did
Leno.
dress up like a biker guy. Or
So did
something.
Leno.
Yeah.
Leno had a small bit part.
Leno's problem was that he really tried to, like, be one of the boys. Like, I'll tell you what happened. On Letterman, he came on Letterman when Letterman, early on, before Letterman became part of The Tonight Show.
Right.
Or wasn't part of The Tonight Show. All right, before that whole shit went down. You had Leno get on there with all these, like, hoagies. And he's, like, offering one to Letterman.
Right.
And Letterman's like, no, I'm not in the mood to eat that. And he kept offering it, and he's eating it, like, trying to be hip and funny.
Right.
And it just didn't work. Because Letterman wouldn't take it.
Right.
He wouldn't take, and he's like, you ought to try one of these. You ought to, I don't want to try one of these. Yeah. He kept repeating that stupid line. You ought to try one of your boy. These are good. Really.
Yeah.
You ought to try. And it was like the worst kind of television you could imagine.
bet.
And I know Letterman was furious.
Very uncomfortable.
Because, not only uncomfortable, but it was not funny. Leno is not funny.
Right.
Everything is caged, fake, made up. Everything that he does, like the products that he does, he's trying to be funny, but it's not funny.
Right.
And so I think, thank God he's going to leave, but he couldn't leave any soon enough. 2014 he's leaving.
Wow.
So we're talking
I
about
never
another
watched
year.
this show
That
much
stupid
anyway,
ass.
so it's no big skin off my back. I don't watch
Yeah.
Leno. I don't
Jimmy
like
Fallon, the only thing that I got with him is that he tries too hard to be funny. Just relax. But let me tell you, I've seen his show a couple of times. I really laughed. I really did. But I think he tries too hard. It's like, that's the thing with Kimmel. Kimmel really doesn't try hard. He's just the host of a show. He's very relaxed with what he's doing. And he's got some funny skits. Look at what we just saw. That was funny as hell.
Oh yeah, that was very funny. In case that was I think night before last when Harrison Ford was being interviewed on Kimmel about the success of 42.
Yeah.
When he was playing on, because he was on the week before he was on
the
Letterman
for the opening of 42, right?
Yeah, for the opening of
Wasn't he
42.
on the
Yes.
day before that night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ed brought it up on the break, and I think you're right, Ed. I think I read too that it's known in Hollywood that Harrison Ford does smoke weed. Because somebody said something like he looks drunk or stoned.
Yeah.
Is that right, Gamer Girl? All you out there, do you know anything about that, or are we just
That'd be
making
good.
that up? But I thought because there's a few people in Hollywood that everybody everybody knows they smoke weed, even though it's just kind of kept out of the normal, publicity machine.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know that at first, but it was just kind of weird. He just goes off on show. It's like, yeah, I can see that. But
I agree. Donnie Curry says Lopez is funny until he turns it racial. It's the same thing with Arsenio Hall. Arsenio Hall started having all these rappers and all these guys get
Well, guess what?
and
That's
he
what
lost
rappers
his white
do.
audience.
Well, also Arsenio, he's gonna cater to that. He's a black guy that's trying to
I know.
kind of hang with the brothers.
Well, he
He's a
looks
white
like
guy,
his
black
head
guy,
is.
but he's trying to hang with the brothers.
I'm serious.
That's Arsenio's
Arsenio looks like his head shrunk this way, so he looks like a pinhead.
I never liked Arsenio Hall.
And yeah, I liked him for a while until
He's
he started
gonna
bringing on
actually he's gonna get his show back on
His
on
show
the air
turned
in
into like a
September.
black-
I'm surprised, really, Steve Harvey doesn't have a talk show.
He does. He's just
Not
not
like
showing
a late
it.
night one?
I don't know. It's late night.
See,
It's a daytime talk
No,
show.
no. Steve Harvey needs to get in the race because Steve Harvey's funny. I think Steve Harvey is funny.
Funnier than Arsenio?
Yes, way
Okay.
funny.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I think Steve Harvey's the second best
And
Family
yeah,
Feud host.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
funny on Family Feud. I think Harvey needs to get in the nighttime.
I actually think he's better than the other guy.
In the nighttime talk show race.
Yeah.
Instead, I didn't know he had a talk show. On
I
Thursday.
think Steve Harvey is better than the original host. Because the original host always
I like Richard Dawson.
I liked him too, but he was always kissing women.
Well, that was the time
And then,
period.
you know,
That was
you
his spiel.
spread
And that was the
AIDS
time
and you
period,
spread...
too.
At that time,
that
he
was
was
back in the 70s. I mean,
That was always the
everything
same
was
thing.
free love. It was all free love, and I'm the ladies' man.
Hi, welcome to the show.
You can't do that now. You do it now.
It's like, you'll have a freaking...
Right. But you do that now, and what?
Sexual
They're
harassment
going to
gets
say
sued.
sexual harassment. No, or sexual harassment.
Yeah, well, that too, but still.
No, it's one of those, what are they called?
Cold sores.
Yeah, cold sore. I mean, this guy, that's what, I couldn't stand that he used to do that.
I liked it.
Dick sore.
I liked it. I thought Richard
Well, of
Dawson
course
was just
you
a
would
man.
like it. You're a
He
guy.
was like sitting there, hey.
But to me, it was as annoying as hell.
I think he's good.
Listen to him, and then he goes down the whole line,
I think Heather's just a front.
kissing everybody and kissing.
Wait a minute.
Who
I
the
didn't
hell?
say I like Richard Dawson in a gay lover way. I said I liked him as a guy on the host.
Hey, LaBelle is angelic song, in my opinion. Well, I can't disagree with him on that. I second
Donnie
that.
Curry, what the hell's an angelic psalm girl?
Singer.
Okay, I'm thinking, what the hell?
Winchester says Steve Harvey is awesome. He was the second best comedian on the Kings of Comedy.
Yeah, I think Steve Harvey.
Yeah, that was very funny. I liked
think
his
Steve
stuff
Harvey's
and Cedric the Entertainer. Definitely Bernie Mac. Oh yeah. Hey, scared of you, mother.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I like Harvey.
Bernie
I like
Mac.
Harvey
He was good.
better than those two. Than Bernie Mac.
Yeah, I like him personally,
As
and I like
comedian.
him as a comedian.
I like him as a comedian better.
And I used to like his show.
I'm not
wasn't
gonna
crazy
lie.
about
I did
it,
like
but
Bernie Mac because he did kind of remind me of the late comedian Robin Harris, though. Because
Bernie Mac was it was not a dime a dozen guy. That guy was brilliant.
Yeah.
That show that he had.
He and my dad both shared a birthday, October 5th.
Let me just say this: that Bernie Mac show, that was one of the greatest shows that in terms of black comedy shows.
I never watched.
Because Cosby was not funny. That was too corny for me.
Well, it wasn't funny during the last 2 years because they kept on
Yeah.
bringing in kids like they did, like in the Brady Bunch.
I mean, I never
Cousin
really,
Oliver.
really got into it. But the Bernie Mac show, I loved it. The little kids, they're bratty, and he's trying to deal with them. The mom was fine. Yeah, it was like all really, really good show to me. And then when he would sit there and and give like a commentary before they went into the next segment.
Good evening, America. I got some for I got to get some on my doggone chest.
it's
Right doggone now.
Hysterical. The guy was brilliant. And you know, only the good die young. That's why I'm still around. Only the good die young, right?
Well, wait a minute. Why is Derek still alive then?
Well, Derek
rubbing off.
I can understand.
You never know.
I can understand why the three of us are still alive. You, Ed, and myself.
Oh, thanks. Throw Ed in the mix.
Well, yeah, he's not good.
He's good. Ed is great.
He's as evil as I am.
He's a good guy.
But Derek, why is he still around?
Well, anyway.
But speaking of some, I hope the story maybe.
Well, you want to go to this? This is kind of an off segue. Here.
Oh my God! Talk about off segue.
Let's slide into that.
This is like going from Highway
Let's slide into
38
that a minute
to
because we're doing happy
Route
laughing
66.
stuff, and then we go to that. That's not too good.
Let's go to Route 66.
Let me read your words right now. I know this one by heart. I don't have to have the book. I posted it a couple of days or yesterday on the Facebook page.
It's so early. It's 10:27.
No, but let me go ahead and do your words. I know it by heart. It was a very easy, simple one. It was from that book. I didn't bring the book. It's from Friedrich Nietzsche. Everybody knows who Nietzsche is.
Yes.
And it's very simple. He said, Plato is a bore. There you go.
That was it.
Waco is a bore?
Plato.
Oh.
You know, Plato, Socrates, Plato. The Plato.
Plato.
Plato is a bore. By Friedrich Nietzsche. There's your word.
That segment was a bore.
Well, I got it out of the way.
It fits.
And also, we got to do this, and we got to do Daily Bread, but we're all right.
All right, but we're still good.
Okay.
10:27.
Pick the page number.
We got 3 minutes till 10:30. Derek.
You want to do it?
I have a question. I have a question for you, Derek.
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay, Derek. Let me ask you a question. When you get on that Facebook,
yeah,
and you're trolling these beautiful women,
yes,
and remember I asked you to ask that girl on a date. Did you, in fact, do that?
No, I didn't.
You're such a wuss.
What girl?
He's got this beautiful girl that's answering him back. She's kind of Middle Eastern looking.
Is she local?
She would look like she
California.
would strap a bomb on her. But she's gorgeous.
The words of Irvin Martinez.
The words of Irvin Martinez are his and his alone, and does
And,
not reflect Derek Barrett, Anthony Harris,
there
Eddie
you go.
Binder, Vaughn Line TV, or the
She would
Worldwide
strap
Web.
her. Let her strap Derek on her.
That's what
Derek's
I'm saying.
the bomb.
That Derek is
You can't
the bomb.
spell.
You say you beat me
You
to
can't
that.
spell the bomb without DB.
I'm serious.
Right?
So help
Right?
me. You beat me to that
You
one.
can't spell the bomb without DB.
Yeah.
So strap Derek
Okay.
on.
The bomb.
I'll tweet her. I'll see. if I
Well,
can-
you went one further, but that's exactly what I was going to say. And you went one further. You can't spell the bomb without DB, right? Okay. Why haven't you tried to reach out to that girl? I mean, do you
Well,
want...
yeah, but the thing is,
I think
I don't
Derek's a
have
little shy.
I don't have
Yeah.
internet for right now. It's been
Well, stay here. You spend some time here and do it.
Okay, but I can't stay too long because I got to pay a bill over at Georgia Power. So,
You're gonna be late. You're gonna be late. You're late for an important
Every excuse in the book.
Just make sure when you ask her out, make sure she knows nothing about this show. 'Cause once she sees you associating with this riffraff, forget it, Derek. She's not going to hang out with you at all. She's going to be, what?
Yeah.
What?
A Puerto Rican, an anarchist, and a
Come
Jew.
to his show, Derek.
Could you imagine she finds out you hang around with a Puerto Rican, and a white anarchist, and a Jew? That's
sounds
pretty-
like a
And
stand-up stand-up
three,
joke.
And all three of us are bald.
Yeah.
Bald white guys. Yeah, you're hanging out with the Aryan Nation over there, Derek.
Yeah.
Sure, I want to date you.
Marion, well,
Anyway,
come on
she
now.
is beautiful.
Come on, you don't. There's, I mean, come on. I ain't never come across any Puerto Rican Klansmen. Now, come on.
No,
There's
no.
always a first.
You never know.
And also,
You never know what's under the hood.
And also,
Thanks.
Urban already admits he hates everybody. So I mean, he fits nicely.
I'm like my father.
Yeah. So.
But my father hates everybody, but he loves everybody. How's that? Anyway, we got Wordsmith going. You got to go after that girl. You can't get there without going. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And when you aim at nothing, you're sure to hit it. You got to aim at something, kid.
Yeah.
Just keep your aim to yourself and to your other.
Just make sure you don't miss the show because you had some kind of a layover. You know, literally.
Wow.
That girl is gorgeous. I wouldn't want to get out of bed if I was with her. You know,
Wow.
especially
I gotta see
at
a picture of her. I don't know
7:30
who
in the
y'all are
morning.
talking about.
Okay.
See if she wants to go on Howard Stern with me. No. Anyway, page number 112. Verse. Somebody give us a number. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Page
6, 7, 8,
112,
9.
right?
9. 1 through 9. There's a couple of good ones on here that will fit.
Donnie Curry's inviting you to his one-man show. Hey, Derek, I will go a little further. Come to my show and make it not so on the spot, buddy. Whatever.
Oh, 7's one of the perfect ones. Perfect. This word perfect. We were talking about earlier about me having a dog collar on. We were talking about, well, okay, let's just go with it.
Choke.
7. Choke. Like
Choke.
this show is choking.
Yes.
No. Let's do it.
Etymologically, To choke is to cut off air by constricting the cheeks, for it is a derivative of ceose, C-E-O-C-E, the Old English word for cheek. There is actually such a verb recorded just once from Old English. I'll be right there. The compound Aeocian, A-C-E-O-C-I-A-N, with the intensive prefix a, so probably the simple verb existed too, though evidence for it has not survived. The noun sense valve controlling the flow of air to an engine dates from the 1920s, but it was a natural development from an earlier 18th century, more general sense constriction in a tube, its parallelism with throttle, both being applied to constriction of the air passage and hence to control values in an engine tube is striking, i.e., the choke of artichoke has no etymological connection with choke, deprived of air. So there you have it.
Thank you. This is from
man.
Dictionary of Word Origins by John Atos. Saibuki supplied this book. We thank you.
Anyway, I had you pegged from the beginning, and I was right, Donnie. Read my note. I had you pegged from the beginning. I knew that you were here, and you made a big spiel so that you can get people and choke them out of the show. And I knew that was going to happen, and I'm right.
What's he doing?
No, he's inviting him to the show, telling people after our show, come to my show now. Donnie, let's just face it. I was right, okay? And I don't really care. I really don't. But it's a fact that I said when you first got on here, I don't like this guy because he's full of shit. And all he's trying to do is make a name for himself for his one-man measly show where he sits there, goes to the bathroom, sings all day. You think you got a voice. You ain't got a voice. You look like a stupid moron sitting there for hours on end singing.
Where the hell
How's
did this
that?
show go?
And then he
The
says,
big 180.
you shouldn't badmouth my show. You know what? Go to his show, and you'll be badmouthing it too. Because it's stupid, okay? It's a stupid show. You want to go on there? Go to Donnie Curry's show. What do I care?
Irv, it's okay, man.
All right, it's okay.
If Donnie has his own show and he wants other people to come to his show, that's
Well,
fine.
yeah, but, make it on your own,
Right.
like we did. We built our audience because we built it. We weren't trying to steal from somebody else's show, you moron. Anyway, I'm going to go take a break.
Have another shot, Irvin.
Yes. And Ed already sent the picture to you over from on the Dropbox, so hopefully you'll,
All right, I'm
you'll
back.
send it.
That was a long break.
Okay. Anyway, I was just reading what everyone was saying. Gamer Girl, get it, DB. DS Curse is short.
Oh,
big.
DS,
Yes.
I'm not angry and I'm not drunk.
DS.
I'm just
angry.
All right, I'm angry. I'm angry at the fact that I said something on the beginning. This guy is trying to like win favor so we can have the Donnie Curry show.
Take a shot.
And
everybody wants to see you take a shot, Irvin, and because also your cough.
Come on, chug it, chug it, chug it,
No,
chug
he
it.
put in a
chug it,
shot
chug it.
glass. Show
We
him
got
the shot
25
glass.
minutes. Oh, just suck the whole thing down.
He did.
Get
He
rid
poured
of this
this.
cough.
Oh, he's got it.
there
All
you
right,
go.
Irvin taking the last shot of Parrot Bay.
Here's to you, Donnie Curry. I hope you get more than 3 people on your show.
Drink.
See, we would have done that ages ago. We would have had a show where we were all drunk on it, but this show started after I quit drinking.
Right.
And I'm not going to go back to drinking. Otherwise, if I was still a drinker, man, we would have had a few shows where we're just sitting here with beer or wine or whatever, champagne, liquor, and not Derek, but the 3 of us would be drinking, and the show would be absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't drink anymore, so it's good.
Anyway, I have to say that, Donnie, because I try to keep it real. And I know you're a great addition to our show. I actually like you. I actually do. But once again, it's kind of a love-hate relationship. Because I hate what you try to do and try to get over. When I said it in the beginning, I told these guys, this guy is on the show to try to build whatever the hell he's doing and try to make a name for himself. Well, you know what? You've done your duty. You obviously are an important part of our show now. But I don't like the idea that at the end of our show, you're like, come over to my show and blah, blah, blah. Build your own audience, brother. You do not need...
Well, that's why he's trying to build it, by getting ours.
Whatever. Oh, my
his
God,
building.
look who's here.
Who?
DSS, David Shapiro.
Derek! Derek. What else, buddy? Guess what? You kind of got your movie mentioned on the regular guys this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming here to this show. I had it on the radio in the car. And the car that does not go in reverse. And Vinny Bucci was on. And they were doing something with Vinny and another intern. And Vinny is telling the guys that I'm making a new movie. I got a new movie, guys, I'm doing. And he names the movie. He says it's based on a book, Look Around or something it's called. I don't know. And basically, and so the guy started asking, he goes, well, is it a real movie this time? And he says, well, yeah. He goes, and then the guy says, I mean, is it a movie not filmed on a laptop or on your phone?
Right.
And I knew exactly that he was talking about Derek Shapiro's case of the, whatever, amnesiac radio talk show host, what the hell that is. And so, in a way, you were getting the publicity. Of course, they weren't going to name that movie, I guess. But, of course, they could have because I got out of the car, showed up here, and I had to come do our show. So I had to turn the radio off. But you were almost getting a little bit of publicity for your little movie, DSS.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. But I didn't finish listening to the show. So it is 10:38, 38 seconds in the
There she is.
71 degrees outside.
Who's that? Is that the girl?
That's the girl.
Angela De Silva.
Okay, now let's get honest, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Is she taken? Does she have a boyfriend?
No.
Not that I know
Is
of.
she a lesbian? Does she have a girlfriend?
I don't know that. I just.
So what is
Exactly.
she saying? Well, no, what is she saying to you?
Well, she said nothing yet. Camera girl says, damn.
Damn.
This for
Damn. It looks like
Well, my point is she showing you any sort of interest, if you get what I mean, besides just friends?
Okay.
I mean, we're diving.
Not
this is a
yet.
new segment of our show. Let's dive into Derek's life. We're trying to
It's
find
all
Derek
about
and
Derek.
Okay. And be honest, Derek. Hell, I'm honest. I'm talking about a porno
She's
tape on
beautiful,
Howard
Derek.
Stern.
I don't
You
know
can
why
be-
you're not going
You
gangbusters
can be-
over her.
I want, yes.
Damn, you're so damn slow. You're
Derek,
you're
what
like
is
a
she
bus.
saying? What is she saying?
Well,
is she opening the door slightly?
Well, nothing yet. I have still.
Oh, you haven't talked to her. I thought you guys.
Yeah,
said
I
y'all
have
talked.
talked. I tweeted something to, but I
Have you
haven't.
poked her yet?
No.
Facebook poke.
Facebook poke. No, I haven't Facebook poked her
You
yet.
gotta poke them first.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Derek.
Poking is foreplay.
Derek, what does the tweet sound like? Give me something you said and something she said back. I'm going to dissect this.
Okay.
I'm going to be Dr. Phil for a moment.
Okay, I'm trying to
That's the
remember.
Dr. Phil show on the morning roast. That's a horrible Dr. Phil.
I tell you what, sound like doggone
But,
Foghorn
you know,
Leghorn.
in general, I mean, what is the conversation? Is hey, did you write her? Go, hey, I think you look good, or I like your Facebook page, or I like your post. What did you say to her?
Well, I mean, that's just the gist of it. Yes, you're quite funny. I liked your show.
And what does she do? A blog show?
No, she was on a TV show, ABC Family show.
Oh, so is she a known actress or just kind of trying to make it?
We was just trying to make it because it's on ABC Family.
Well, I don't know what the hell ABC Family is.
It's cable.
Okay.
Cable channel.
And so basically, she's just going to look at you as a whole nother damn stalker or somebody who likes her because of her acting career. Is that what you're thinking? Or
Well,
is she treating you like, hey, it's another fan, I have to write back and show and build support, so I have to reply? I mean, I don't get the gist of it. Urban,
I mean,
you
I've
brought
only,
it up.
I've only tweeted her maybe
Okay,
once.
Urban made it sound like
But
you
I
guys
haven't-
are chatting here and that something's building.
I guess he saw me chat and just basically Googled,
Oh.
But I mean, there's really, I'm still, waiting for an answer. But if
Okay.
it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'll just keep on finding someone else.
Well, I had to get the backstory because I was getting that this was just like a regular woman on the internet.
Yeah.
That Derek met through somebody, and they're talking. I mean, I didn't know it was like, okay, she's acting in a family ABC show or whatever. I mean, okay.
Yeah, is she Hollywood about? Yeah, I think she's Hollywood because she's American. Her parents are not from India, but they're from Sri Lanka, which is off the coast of India. So that's why she looks the way she looks. And yes, there are some beautiful Indian, Sri Lankan women there. But
He's been gone, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be nice to to
was
get to
gone
know her.
last
I'm not
two
gonna
breaks
lie.
ago.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, if she likes me, cool. If not, I'll just I'll keep on moving on. Maybe I'll get lucky with the Senadores. Who knows? So,
What the hell is a Senatora?
The Doritos Chacos Locos, man. Come on.
Where have you been, Irvin?
I don't know. I heard that word and I keep thinking of a convent. He wants to mess around with nuns.
Oh, wow.
At least you know they're virgins. Maybe.
All right,
Supposedly.
Shapiro's guy, you pissed him off.
Whatever.
No, we
Goodbye.
How did we piss off Shapiro?
I didn't
'Cause
say
you told-
anything.
Yeah, you did. You said, Shapiro, get on with the show.
He
Not
and-
interested,
yeah.
and neither is anyone else.
You're not that
Subject,
important.
and blah, blah,
Wait,
blah.
Shapiro or Curry?
Shapiro. Curry's still here.
Oh, I still got Shapiro. right
No,
here.
you know what? Curry takes a lot of my shit. But the thing is that at least I'm honest. He's honest with me. He says what he wants to say. I say what I want to say. We move on.
It's about honesty.
He's still part of the show. I love Donnie
crying,
Curry.
I'm crying.
In the end, I love him more than I hate him.
There's a tear in my ear.
Yeah. Gamer Girl says, yeah, DB, don't get on the show Catfish. Make sure she is who she is.
What's catfish?
Yeah, I'm kind of...
What is that, Gabriel Girl?
I'm kind of dumbfounded on that type of
Educate
slang.
the old man here.
Yeah.
The old man here. I don't know what the hell that show is.
Yeah, I'm kinda-
I've heard of it. Hey, Graybeard.
Hey, Graybeard.
Basically,
Welcome
the
back.
TV show is basically it's a TV version of the movie.
That Big
10
Blue
Things
of
I Hate
You
About
was
You,
missed.
The one with the late
There was
Heath
no
Ledger.
Blue.
Okay.
Except
Well,
Tara
she's
London.
actually in her mid-20s, but she looks like a teenager, kind of like, you know.
Yeah, it happened. Well, a lot of people look a lot older than they are nowadays, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Like Seth Rogen, that dude looks like he's 50, but he's only like 20, well, in his early 30s.
I do not care for him and his talent at all.
Yeah.
Bye, buddy.
Go,
Go do
Donnie.
your dad thing.
But
Have a good weekend, Donnie.
actually, I don't want to like postpone it, but there is some news.
Yeah, let's get to news. We got to do more news.
It was the
This has been Flippant Friday. We've been pretty flippant.
Who
Well,
cares?
let's go with some news.
Well,
That's why they call it Flip It
Yesterday,
Friday.
I was trying to get an update
Mm.
on the Amber Alert on the 1-year-old Brian Hunter, who was kidnapped, at least allegedly.
Well, that's what comes out.
I received some stories from several sources that says near Chicago, there's now been a search and rescue to search and recovery crews dragging a river in search of the missing 1-year-old Brian. And authority believes the boy who was abducted during attack on his mother may be considered dead.
There we go.
An Amber Alert was issued, and 3 men questioning supposedly Latino descent in connection have been cleared of any wrongdoing. However, the child's mother is not a suspect, but police continue to talk with her because from another news source, it says that the child may have been killed because due to the mother's boyfriend. The son's mother's boyfriend may have beaten him to death because of not being able to potty train correctly.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's just, there's no words for it. You just want to take the person and strangle the hell out of them.
And put them in the toilet bowl
You
and
want to
drown them.
castrate them. You want to do
God
every,
forgive me.
you want to do every
You ever
plausible
seen that
form
movie
of
with
torture.
Charles Bronson, The Evil That Men Do?
No, but I saw the Death Wish
Where
movies.
they had these people hanging and they had battery jumper cable
Oh,
hooked to their nuts
shocking
and all
them
that shit.
and their nipples, and
That's
shocking
what they
them.
need. That's what
Yeah, I
they
mean that's all you can say about
need.
scumbags
and
like
slice
this.
them off one nut at a time.
I mean, it's just.
Well, I hope they don't get the death penalty only because of this. Prolong their misery.
No, prolong their misery if they're in misery.
There's
Don't
soap,
keep them in jail and give them the cot and the food and the TV and all that crap. If you're gonna keep them in jail and they're consistently tortured and picked on and beat up, yes, fine. But don't give them that freaking taxpayer money vacation in jail. Hell no.
Yeah, I mean, it's already
just-
good
it's
vacation because they're
unfortunate.
getting 3 hots in the cot and free medical.
Yeah, I know,
Free
but
medical.
you know, give them hell while they're in there.
Yeah, but the medical ain't all that, you know.
It's just, I mean, what else can you say about that? I mean, it's
horrible.
There's no reason.
A beautiful little
There's
child.
no way to give any sort
Right.
of pass on it. There's no reason to say that there's any
And
reason for it.
It's hard being
I mean,
a Christian
It's
to think anything other than you want to take that person, strangle them, rip their head off.
Right.
And, you know,
Or
it's
keep
like,
their head on, just bury them up to their
I
neck.
don't know.
Bury
I
them,
don't
bury
know
them
what to
alive
say.
up to their neck and just pour
Honey,
K-roll syrup,
Eugene,
honey,
send me some
hot
scriptures.
sauce and a bag of
bees,
fire ants.
and
I'm
scorpions
serious.
and everything.
Do what they used to do to the Christians in the old days. They poured tar on them and put them up on the post and lit them up to light up the streets. How's that?
Yeah. I mean,
serve a purpose.
That's all you can say about that.
I don't even know what to
our
say.
Thoughts go out to the family, but you don't know the family.
Such a beautiful little kid.
I mean, well,
the greatest little smile.
What possesses someone to kill a kid?
And
kill a general. But a kid, I mean, what possesses
who just
you to
one
kill
year,
a 1-year-old,
just a
a
year
2-year-old,
old,
a 3-year-old?
yeah.
I mean, Casey Anthony,
Oh,
what
my
the fuck
Lord.
possesses these people to do this?
Well, Casey Anthony's another issue.
But still,
I mean, the
it's
fact that
I mean,
she got
he's
away with murder.
He's 14 months old. I mean, he's slightly younger than my niece Chloe. She's 19 months old. Just turned 19 months on the 15th. She's still, potty training because, she still wears a diaper. But he's barely 40. He's not even a year and a half. He's 14 months old, a little over a year, and he's beating him because he's not peeing correctly, potty training correctly. Come on. It's ridiculous.
I mean, let's face it, people. This is a good point. I wish Donnie Curry was still on because he's a father and talks about problems he has with his kids and vice versa. But come on, people. Let's face it. It's not supposed to be a walk in the park when you have kids. It's a hard job. It's the hardest damn job in existence, in my opinion. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to take a lot of patience. It's supposed to take a lot of frustration. It's supposed to, but with all that comes a great sense of accomplishment and of doing what's right. I mean, these people that just go, I can't handle my kid anymore because the kid's crying, or I can't handle it because the kid won't piss right or shit right. I mean, what did you expect when you had the kid?
Right.
Did you expect the kid to come out and just know how to do everything that you do already? I mean, really, did you expect that? I mean, are they already supposed to know how to do math? Walk, talk, cook you meals. I mean, are they?
Do your taxes.
Wash your car. I mean, I don't understand this mentality of these people. And what's his name said it? I think Winchester. It's like parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Teach these people to be parents if you don't already know it by now. And I agree, people aren't perfect. I mean, parents make mistakes.
Big time.
Every time. I've in my time being a parent have done some things that are wrong, but I haven't gone that far. I mean,
God forbid.
I've freaking hollered at them maybe over something I shouldn't have. I've lost my temper, of course. Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is, you know what you're getting to when you have pets, which are like kids, and you have kids.
You decided to have kids.
Right.
You decided to bang your wife or your girlfriend.
Right.
Get her pregnant.
Right.
Follow her through her pregnancy.
Right.
Some, not all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what happens, I mean, fathers like to say, well, I'm the father and I deserve my rights. Well, you got to earn them.
Yeah.
Really. The mother's already earned them. She had the kid.
Well, barely. Not
everyone. I agree.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Debate.
But they have more rights in the beginning, which is why
the mother did
they go to the mother. Because no matter what,
lie.
the kid is more attached to the mother but by nature, they're going to be more attached to the mother than they are to the father.
Yeah, by nature.
Especially by nature.
They should be supposedly, but not in this day and age. It's almost like they just threw nature out the window and maybe even nurture too.
Yeah, look what's happening with
the
everything else.
The mother allegedly...
say that again, Derek. No one talk. Derek, say that line again.
Well, obviously
nature, nurture. That was a
nature
great
and
line.
nurture is like they just got rid of both
nurture
and nature.
I want you to say the way you said it. No interruption.
I mean, basically they said,
no, you say it.
They threw away nature. And
that wasn't the way you said
it. But you said they threw nature out the window.
They threw nature out the
nurture.
They threw nature out the window and nurture.
That was a great quote.
And that's what just really just grinds my gears about it, because
I agree.
That child is about the same age as my niece right there, and she's still having trouble with I wouldn't say trouble with potty training, but I mean, if they either gonna learn, it's gonna take whether they're 18 months or 2 years or 2.5, it's gonna happen. My goodness, you ain't supposed to beat them an inch of their life.
And the thing about it, and I said this at the beginning with our kids.
I mean, hell, when I was 2 years old, before my sister was born, my parents went to visit my aunt, my uncle in Detroit, my aunt Louise, who used to work at GM, and then we took a couple of days off, and my parents took a days off, and they went to Canada and visited around, and my dad got ticked off because I just said I had to use the restroom. I couldn't find any porta potties, so I just found a bush, like just pee.
Let me tell you something.
And he didn't knock me out.
Right.
He's like, what are you gonna do? He's like, Mom,
Derek, let me explain.
He's in Canada. He's 2 years old. What are they gonna do? Give him a ticket? Come on.
Let me explain.
For public urination?
Right. Derek, if you end up having kids, let me explain to you. I said this to Heather from the beginning. Our kids both didn't get out of diapers completely until around 3 years old, I think, is where around Elizabeth and Max got out of diapers. Okay?
Okay.
Heather, for a while there, occasionally was kind of worried about it. I said constantly to her, I said, Heather, don't. I said, it's going to happen at the pace it happens, okay? Neither of them are in school yet. Let it happen. I said, think about it this way, Heather. Do we really know anybody that gets to a certain age and they're still in diapers? No.
No, not really.
I mean, you go back to being in diapers when you get old.
Yeah,
right?
true.
I beat you to it, DS Photo Guy. I know you were going to say that. But come on, let's think about it. Hold on, let's think about it, guys. Do you see 10 and 11 years old in diapers? No. Eventually, they're going to get used to it. It might take some up to 5 years old, some up to 3, 4, whatever. It's not. I always told Heather, it's not a competition. We're not trying to compete with the Joneses next door because their kids are out of diapers after 1 year. It's not a competition. Okay? Let them do it at the pace they're going to do it. They'll be out of them. They're not going to sit there and be in diapers still once they get into 5th grade and 4th grade. I mean, just give them the chance to do it. It's not a big deal.
Gamer Girl says, make it fun. Make it fun.
Yeah. I mean, we tried a lot of things with our kids, and it just took a while. And if I remember right, Elizabeth got through it a little quicker than Max did. She got out of them a little bit short, not much quicker, but around the same time they went, about 2.5, 3 years. But, you know, that's fine. You know, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and give the pressure to the kid and stress the kid out. And also, I told Heather, I'm not going to bring the stress on us. Every day having to stress out over the baby going to the bathroom or not. The kid going to the bathroom. I mean, things will happen. They happen.
All right, well, before we go on, I guess we'll end with this one.
Okay. Well, we got to end and do Daily Bread.
Right. And
but we're going about 5:10 after because we started about 10 after, right?
Well, I want to bring this up. Why don't you bring that up?
Okay.
And then we're going to go to this story, wrap up the Sutton story. This is just in. And
something new?
Yeah, this is just new.
Wow. Okay.
And so let's get to that.
Okay. There remains of soldier and girl dug up in a Georgia cemetery. This is yesterday. Just came out. Caretakers in Atlanta of one of Georgia's oldest cemeteries say the scene was heartbreaking. A toddler's bones were spilled on the ground. The uniform buried with the soldier in another plot was strewn on the ground. Now, a reward of more than $2,000 is being offered for information on the desecration at the Old Church Cemetery, which dates to 1758 on the East Georgia countryside near Waynesboro. Burke County Sheriff's Sergeant Sean Cochran said clothing buried with the soldier was removed, leaving his bones exposed.
Wow.
Cochran said relic hunting is a possible motive. Leroy Bell, Jr., commander of the American Legion post that cares for the cemetery, discovered the damage Saturday. He said that a small casket containing remains of 14-month-old Emma Jane McElmurray, buried in 1884, was removed and its contents dumped out. Wow. So you still have grave robbers, right?
Well, hey, no, I thought of right away, Burke and Hare. You guys remember the story of Burke and Hare? Saibuki, Burke and Hare. You know what I'm talking about, right? 2 grave robbers?
You're right. Drove me by the cemetery that his family's buried in.
Yeah.
Which is like a little mini cemetery on the side where your mother lives, in there somewhere.
Hillcrest?
Yeah.
Over on Hillcrest?
Yeah. And guess what?
What?
I would say about 30 tombstones were turned over.
Wow.
I mean, they continue to go there and throw the tombstones over.
Yeah.
So the tombstones are laying on the ground like this all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, an update I want to give you on this Junebug police, Macon police incident. Nearly 4 months after her brother's death, Cheryl Davis received a call from this piece of shit mayor.
Well, guess what?
Macon's mayor.
I didn't tell you. That's how I posted it as breaking news yesterday.
What, piece of shit mayor?
No. Did y'all notice when I posted the breaking news of the decision on the page? Well, you know, we could have had that news at about 10:55 yesterday morning. And I'll tell you why. I'm sorry to interrupt her, but this connects. And I should have brought it up at the beginning of the show. I get to Heather's work after the show. She has our one cell phone. there's a call on there from Cheryl Davis.
Mm.
She had called me at 10:54 yesterday morning and said, really upset, and said, Aunt, I just got off the phone with Mayor Rickert. And he said that Sutton was justified, but they are giving him a written reprimand for not calling in that he showed up.
Like that's going to help her.
That was why I then posted on our Facebook page, breaking news, here's the results, because Cheryl, I had just heard Cheryl's message, and it wasn't until like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Well,
right.
I read something yesterday,
Yeah.
one of the comments on that, on WMAZ, and this person sounded pretty bright, and what they did was, and it sounds legit, is they charged him with that.
Yes.
That puts the responsibility on him now,
Well,
not the department, for a civil lawsuit.
Well, also,
So she
right.
can't sue the department now, she
Right.
can sue him
Well,
personally.
and that's what I thought and why I posted after that. You notice I posted do the right thing. Now you have another stain, Rickert, on Sutton's file.
Fire him.
Now fire him, and he can't sue you because it just your guy's reason can be, guy, you keep having bad records. That's why I put really in big letters. Here's your reason, Rickert, Burns, Carswell,
Yeah, I saw that.
to fire him. Now you have that out, even though it's sad that it came to that. But the bad thing about it, then they follow the story up going, they're still going to let him work for the department.
Well,
So go
let
ahead.
me read the story. It says a shooting review board unanimously ruled that the police officer who shot Davis's brother had been justified. Officer Clayton Sutton won't be fired. I'm just sick with grief over this whole thing, Davis said Thursday afternoon, hours after she talked with the mayor. I feel like we're going to lose no matter what we tried to do.
Hang in there, Cheryl.
I have to say something.
Hang in there.
He's strong.
If and this is between Cheryl and I, if you
And the world.
if you have that attitude, we're gonna lose.
Yes.
You have to be positive.
Strong.
I mean, because I don't believe that. And I know you're grieving.
Right.
And I know you're upset.
Right.
And I know that right now it looks like an insurmountable mountain.
Right.
But you are a Christian woman, and you know that God is in control. So have a little bit more faith that God is going to make sure that this comes to a final justification, showing Sutton for who he really is, showing this miserable mayor for what he is, showing Chief Burns for the conniving, lying person that he is, showing Carswell for the incompetent third leg of this whole nonsense.
Right.
You have to believe that, because if you don't, what makes you think that we're going to be able to believe that if you won't? Right now, I'm depending on you to have faith. God creates miracles with faith.
And also, in simple terms, any fight worth fighting is going to take a long time to fight.
Yes.
Yes.
You got to
That's
remember
definitely
that.
true.
You can't
So
just
please.
expect, in this ADD society, you can't expect driving through the drive-thru, getting your fries and your burger, and you're out of there. It's going to be a long time.
Yeah.
And that's why at the beginning of
Thank
the
you.
show, we said what? We're going to start a Facebook page right after this show, remove
Yeah.
Rickert. We're going to keep it going that direction. We're going to set up a press conference either for today or Monday. We're going to call right from here. I'm going to get Irvin to email or
Yep.
call. We'll get to you, Derek. I know you got
Okay.
something. And we're going to keep it going, Cheryl. If you're listening, stay strong, sweetie. Davis family, stay strong. You know, we're there. We still got the march May 11th. Remember that. Cheryl, you had your National Day of Prayer thing set for May 2nd, right? A rally for that. Keep that alive, Cheryl. Keep that going, okay?
She removed her Facebook page.
As long she said she was going to do that because she was tired of all the people were hassling her and sending very, very crude comments to her and stuff. Yeah, she told me in phone calls before that she's getting.
Well,
a
make
lot
sure
of
you
crap.
call her.
Well, she knows she watches the show, guys. Believe it or not.
Good.
Not always through the whole thing, but she does check out the show.
Okay.
But just stay strong, Cheryl. I mean, it's a fight, but you know what? We're in it for the long haul.
Don't lose faith.
And my thing is this. My thing is
Evil
this.
only triumphs when good people do nothing.
That's right.
only.
And my thing is this: is we're coming up on an election. We can still get Rickert out of there by just making sure he does not get elected. It's coming up what, June, guys? July?
Yeah.
When's the first round of elections?
I think July.
July, June.
July.
Okay.
Even Gamer Girl says, we're Sir Shell, that the chatters here on the show are with you. Gamer Girl says, we're here to support her, even though we're far away, out of state.
We knew from the beginning this wasn't going to go by fast. We knew that. Because when you're fighting against the government, you're fighting against the big thing, even if it's just a city government. But the thing about it, stay what's on the right track, as Irvin said. Stay on the right path. But better than anything, persevere.
And have faith.
And be patient. And if you're God-fearing, like most people here on this panel are, then have faith.
Well, you have faith too, because even
my
though you're not
faith's based
God-fearing,
on human faith.
But
Yes.
the thing is that
Not a
faith
divine
isn't
faith.
just having.
Right.
You could have faith in a paper cup.
Right.
And it produces something.
Right.
Like you drink out of it.
Good point. Good
You know, and so what I'm saying is, faith, without faith, it is impossible to please God. That's what the Bible says. So, you're not going to be pleasing God if you lose faith. Yeah, and that's the bottom line. You want God to help you, which I believe He's put in our hearts, Anthony's heart, Derek's heart, Ed's heart, my heart, and many other people. You've got to be the one to stand the bearer of having faith. That's all I'm saying. Don't lose faith. Continue to fight. We're going to continue to fight. We're committed to that.
Yeah.
Right, Anthony?
That's right.
I said it already, till the day I die, until this thing is resolved. You know? And that's it. Just have faith. And let's keep this going. Don't lose faith.
It's a worthy cause, and it's something, it shows too, finally. It not only sets the precedent, Cheryl, and everybody else, it not only sets the precedent that, look, they're going after the cops. I mean, we're going after the police force, right? But it's also letting Sheriff Davis know, right? That once
You're not going to believe
right,
this.
it's also showing Sheriff Davis that, look, you better have your boys in order when it consolidates, because we will do the same thing towards your guys if your guys falter and stumble. You know, and I guarantee Davis is probably thinking that. I don't think Davis is just pushing it. Yeah, you hear me though? I don't think Davis is just pushing it to the side. Davis knows that we're probably going to police the sheriff department once they become the sole law enforcement agency in this city. And the thing about it is that all you got to do is stay strong, Cheryl, and stick with the fight. And of course, you got a lot of people that got your back.
Well, you're gonna.
I just want to say one more story, just to put on a much more lighter note before we go into that. This is a wing dang doodle right here.
This is the ding doodle.
That Ed sent me, and a goat accused of robbery.
They'll blame anybody for anything.
Yes. I guess he's the goat now.
Well, they blame
the scapegoat.
They blame Junebug for being a schizophrenic.
Yes. Yes. Police in Nigeria.
From this to a serious
police
story.
in Nigeria are holding a goat on suspicion of attempted armed robbery. Vigilantes seized the black and white goat, saying it was an armed robber who had used black magic to transform himself into an animal to escape after trying to steal a Mazda 323.
Take that goat's Second Amendment rights away right now.
A spokesman for police in the eastern state of Kwara said, "The goat is in our custody." Vigilantes saw some hoodlums attempting to rob a car. One escaped while the other turned into a goat. Either way you look at it, it's just really bad.
Any way you look at it, that's just a bullshit story.
It sounds like an onion story.
That does. It's just put on a piece of paper.
You know what? God separates the goats from the sheep. That's about the only time this whole story has. It's about the only good segue.
We suck goats.
That's the phone number.
Man.
Have a great weekend. We're going to do Daily Bread. We got Daily Bread. Have a good weekend. Before we go, I've always got to bring up Slim Sims if you get pulled over because Judge Howard Sims.
Nobody's going to know that.
What?
Nobody's going to know Slim Sims. Even a cop may arrest him for being a pain in the ass.
It's a joke.
I know it's a joke, but I'm saying you give that out for people to do.
Well,
the cop will be like, "You're a freaking
But it
drunk.
would be funny.
Get in the back." I think you're just setting them up to get into further trouble. Yeah, that's it. Unless you do it that way.
I don't drink anymore.
Free Huey!
Yeah. If I don't drink anymore. But if I got pulled over on a Friday night by the
I
DUI
know you
task
would do
force,
it.
I would say something about
Of
Slim
course
Sims.
you would.
Yeah, I would, of course.
I actually mentioned it.
Okay.
The drunk.
Are we ready with
judge.
our? Are we ready?
Well, you're
ready
going to
with
be.
our Sistine monks. Or
I think that you're going to be blown away. Only because the goat story kind of threw it off. But let's go back to what I was saying before.
About Cheryl and
Cheryl and having faith. Strengthened through suffering.
Is this Daily Bread?
This is Daily Bread.
Daily Bread.
God, just don't put it too
You gotta
loud,
let
please.
Ed know.
All right. Church services often end up with a benediction. Not mine, but some church services. A common one is taken from Peter's concluding remarks in his first epistle. May the God of all peace, who called us to his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after you have suffered for a while, perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. 1 Peter 5:10. Sometimes omitted in the benediction is the phrase, after you have suffered a while. Why? Perhaps because it is not pleasant to speak about suffering. It should not surprise us, however, when suffering comes our way. The Apostle Paul, who knew well what it was to suffer, wrote, all who desire to live godly in Christ Jesus will suffer persecution. 2 Timothy 3:12. As we live life of submission to God, 1 Peter 5:6, and resisting the devil, verse 9, we can expect to be maligned, misunderstood, and even being taken advantage of. But the Apostle Peter says that there is a purpose for such suffering. It is to restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. Verse 10. God's path for our Christian growth often leads us through difficulties, but they fortify us to understand life's future storms. May God help us to be faithful as we seek to boldly live a life that honors Him. C.P. here. Forbid it, Lord, that I should be afraid of the persecution's frown, for Thou hast promised faithful ones that they shall wear the victor's crown. When God would make us strong, He schools us through hardship. May the God of all grace, after you have suffered for a while, strengthen and settle you. 1 Peter 5:10.
Thanks, Gabriel, for posting that link so that way Rob can read along. She posted the link to Daily Bread.
Oh, cool.
So Rob
They like it?
And that's I guess that's the link my brother, coffee guy, went to that day. He was posting it while you were reading it. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Gamer Girl. So here we go. It's Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes. Want to thank all of our
viewers and
viewers.
chatters.
Yeah, because 77. Wake up, C Bookie. Wake up. See you later.
Thank you, Gamer Girl.
Yeah, Eric Wildcat, Gamer Girls.
Skip some.
Oh yeah, DJ Mean Gene, Rosalind Nicole.
Thanks, Rosalind.
Eric Wildcat, Jar Jar Binks, Mahari Nutsack, and oh yeah, Three Bears also.
Tower of London was Heather. She's at work now. She left the computer on. We had a lot more that are gone now. We will say thank you to Vorpal Bite for being around for a little bit, but Vorpal Bite, that's just the way it's going to go. We don't mind you chatting, but if you're just going to talk, I know, but it's on the show and you're taping the show. He can go back and watch it. My thing is this, though, Vorpal Bite, if you're going to just constantly go over in circles and circles, that's fine. We know we disagree. You think one thing, we think another, that's fine. But we're not going to just keep going back and forth with you on this chat the whole time about the same old thing.
Just want to say thank you to all our viewers, all our watchers, especially from Macon, Georgia, and elsewhere. We have 71 degrees outside of Macon. It's going to be clouded with some showers, high of 75, low of 45. Also, check out our Facebook page and help us get to 300 likes.
Yes, we're almost there. 296, I think.
And if you get a chance, and also Rosalind Cole, if you didn't get to see the whole show, check us out on the YouTube channel Nut House, and if you want to see past shows as well, full shows.
All they gotta do is go to their Facebook.
And I want to thank Ed for doing all that, because Ed puts that stuff together, and we appreciate it.
And also, don't forget, if you want to email us, there's a new email to get. Is it? Yeah, in the nut house at gmail.com.
Thank you, Gamer Girl, for the our Daily Bread website. I'm excited about it. I'll be using this as a resource from here on in.
What were you saying, Ed?
Any comments, suggestions, anybody wants, email us.
And
Just
look,
give us an email.
And look for today, I guess maybe tomorrow, look for the Facebook pages we're going to start. We're going to start sending them to you guys, especially the ones that are already friends with us. You know, Gamer Girl, Saibuki, people like that. Eve,
DS Photo Guy, and also DSS.
We're going to start this. We're going to start these Remove Rickard Fire burn sites, and we'll keep it going that way. And also Sutton, we'll start wanting to get rid of Sutton. And so please like those, and once you get access to those, pass them around to people, even if you're not local, even if you don't live here. Let the story get out, and we appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gotti Curry, also DSS for being on. There was a few others that were on earlier that we didn't mention, but thank you all.
Thank you. You're appreciated. We'll see you Monday.